make mewoti ntolla leader mem present esamboy falti esamboy falle ala will men keta ala effort ya sinanti Gambian la janna ka dum politiko kono men keta present esamboy falle bongolole me ya lonko abe contribute la katas jo Gambia anda motol dundi men keta vehicle ka fa commercial vehicle tax men keta Serekunda to Westfield men tata kanyan 24 vehicle ka me ya lonko mol employee so talibe nanamu wodo ku nyinanti Gambian la namno effort nyinanti Gambian la bira manana man si palasoto so talibe ka mom fo Serekunda talibe Serekunda mol mel babulu won tala moloti wolu mu UDP la molenti wala sin December and then that is the fact talibe kabra meeting ke nyamo menje is not less than 400 people talibe la side la as a leader talibe ka bor responsibility la menkita 3 millions of US dollars ka bor responsibility la where in the Gambia no la this man is not fit to lead Gambia and when your faces all je talibe la milliard lonko the same faces seems like Adama Barrow so where in the Gambia no la talibe is not a good leader and then is not a leader to run Gambia country nimbod nanje diamu talibe la side la aning present esam bay falla side la sawnim banko la ni nata do ko la Kenya la ni nata la amil meno la Kenya la Gambia banko la ka photo dundi kay nanti Gambia no la I'm ready to work out and then I'm ready to solve your problem nya suute jumala nyato wala kita president esam bay fall talibe kabrin janin talibe be sila meola talibe minege Gambia. Can you tell me what effort Talib did it in that nation? But menje Talib sita mewe alale Talib mineke Serekunda merul bakumbola Serekunda molbe nitorola sakole Talib la doku lombalia wala tin bi Adama Barona la molu ye sel setalo siandi banjun kam na merul bandi menketa bekama marseti menketa Serekunda marseti la doku lombalia wala tin Adama Barwe merul bay marseto nin talibe arang menolo as a leader talibe nyanta merol la senend le nyanta tarra demendo ko wafiro keji wu nyanta tarra seniari na no Gambia nyanta muro parking place o soglale as a area council as a meo as a talibe obe bala dogo kono but talibe mon effort keji number 1 because nyaaje le talibe biran natan nan sembodo Gambianul kam men fo ala side la biramu mewti akam menke akam choose men ko wandi Gambia ko men fankola as a political point Gambian uriyaji la wolam baku e talante mbenyi linkala number 1 brital be mu mewoti deportational mel beka ke Gambia deportational mel beka ke Europe as a mayor of Gambia city talibe nane mu effort like kata banjun airport to ask those people those youth to ask them what is your difficulty for you to deport in Gambia talibe never do nothing. None of this thing Talib do it. But nyamineji, bir Talib bala political ambition o nyinna, anala self-interest o nyinna, and then people surround him. Nyejile has a new faces. They are all looking political interest and political opinion and political ambition in that country. So Gambian ulko that cannot be allowed in that nation. Kabiring nya asinoji Adama Barrow la side la. Adama Barrow is a youth. Talib is the same like that youth. But lafta melon na Talib la side la. Janni bi tayba funding chelu tala equate political opportunity la time men Gambia funding chelu ka deport as meo yemene create le wol se do ko sorono wol se technique karano banko kay sa sabati no banko ka bar nyamene je yiri ala hypocrite talbe même play wolamo kabira la sta fanzum patiolo la ko Gambia yutol melka deport na ate wala bata fil but you are meo do you come to German to talk about German meo about deporting no and then you have right to do it. Gambians are not fool. We are not fool, and then we know who is the who's supposed to who is the person Gambia supposed to vote. So nobody cannot choose that one to us. And then you cannot come to a platform. You think that you are a man of everybody. Everybody is a man. Let's speak about humbleness and kindness because that is the country we have it. And then that is the country we have been sending it. We want to see Gambia best. So Gambia best, you cannot go with angriness. Gambia best cannot go with fight. So we have to talk about how we put things on the table. And then we choose our leader. Be cheerful. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Be careful, people. Be careful. Talibe, be careful. Jerejef Lamin, sa wapi rafet na. Again.
Bukan coba hal tu.
No, Amadu coba halal and Hari hara Amadou mu cabahal but
Ano mo mga
if
hamay?
Kini nakala send Minister of Information. Oh, Mariama, balal. Wa Mariama. Ñole.
This whole talk, I just wanted to clarify something. Mid conversation. So li xewon moy ku nekk daf don express view sami on what could happen, can I lead ak lan nga fogne koku is a potential viable candidate. Waxtaan bi yeb lol la won ci suba si. So sila Ghost express I wouldn't quote verbatim, but I would say what I think you meant. So if I'm wrong, you can just come in and interject. So sila Ghost wax ne pay yep ñi nekk di laajte réew mi, give it Essa Faal, give it Sidi mu ne Sidia moom kantut kooku sax, give it Halifa Sallah, Lawyer Dabo, and even Adama Barrow. All of them should do away with the politics now, and then ñu allow ko xam ne is a young person mu lead. This was limwa. So bim waxe lol nonu, and then back and forth we start on. So man bima ege, my question to him was, would you rather have pa bo xamne would give you the results that is desired as a country, or da nga bëgga jox xalé rek mu taxaw nek president because you relate to that person ne koku is a young person? I think this was full discussion we start here what. But then in the middle of it, man yow sa opinion ya ko mom, lolu ken mënu ko fe change. Lolu yow ya am right to express na yow you feel Bensouda come you relate to him more as a young person. Lolu sa right la. Man, what did not sit well with me is even when we ask in an event legi koko nge yaha ngane, you would rather have a young person yaha for us for his fellow young people than have an old person yaha for the young people. So being away hello man, personally that did not sit well with me. So sila ego ndila question in terms of what do we do now? Do we want leadership being a hamne, even if we don't relate to the person in terms of the age, would get us the results that we desire, or we just want anyone to come so long as is a young person and we can relate to the person. Fofula watan be started one, and then it went to back and forth. Personally, sa opinion lolu yo ya ko mom ken munu se gene. Why man the confirm lima where I had issues with was overlooking the competence there, and also saying even if the person wouldn't give us the desired result, so long as the person is young, that is fine. Man fofula amon problem with what you said. And I think ninga ame right to say ne you feel Talib would do the better job or would serve better because you relate to him. That is how we can say ne we are not looking forward to call him, they would just be there because of the age. So motahon man andi want this conversation right. Then sila wa be start kuneka dinyo forfeit at how you want to see it.
No, Mariama, what you've said is exactly right, except for the fact that yaha, like, well, halesu yaha, you don't know. I think that was taken out of context because it was based on how the question was asked, right? Come man right now, man munuma wahne Talib dafa yaha, wala Talib dafa defar. Munuma wah lulu. And so fake you guys have been fair. I've never sat here, maneki sacha katla, ki lila yaha, kalela ila yaha. Lo munta am. In fact, even yesterday, I supported Hussein Udabo. I said, a coalition needs to happen, and a coalition happened. Hussein Udabo is going to lead the coalition with respect to all the opposition that came together. Of course, I have no other choice than to support it. That is the will of the political parties, and this is what we want. But my opinion to that is, if you put Hussein Udabo forward, he's not going to win, even if there's a coalition, right? I reserve that opinion. And if someone asks, would I like the why? I said, well, there's some people that have reservation about voting for Hussein Udabo. And maybe if you're doing a case study, you will say Hussein Udabo has participated in elections several times, he couldn't win. So he's not a winnable candidate. You're taking your chances with someone who potentially could not win, right? Well, then, Talib Yaha, the Talib Yaha, I said, Supekene Kokununu is already elected. The way we elect head of state is through the ballot box. Komte Adama Barrow, Minko Jinyaha, right? And visibly so, Yahegis Adama Barrow, Mungeyaha, there's Halis Mungeyaha, there's projects that are not going well and so forward. Ken Munuto talk feeling would defend Yaha is not happening in the government as we speak right now. But what can we do? Not the new jël Adama Barrow ñu génne ko State House cuf ñu saani ko fa la ñu def fa keneen no dañoo xaar ba élection jot ñu génne ko fa right so man suma point moo ne su fekkee ne tey dañ back Talib mu dem mu nekk président Talib mu yaaxa man sila ñoo mané I might be content if su fekkee xale moo yaha and lu tax ma wax loolu mooy ne ñun dañ dee toog fii nii especially the young people we complain left right and center ne ñu yaahal ñu ngi sàcca suñ àdduna ñu ngi sàcca suñ ëllëg ñu ngi yaha suñ alal man ma ne xale yi kon nañ dem ñu dem ñoom seen boppa ñu mos lu fa nekka suñ yaaxee ñu xam ne ñoom ñoo yaahal seen boppa seen ëllëg ak seen tey and that is the context bu ma doon waxee ne man I am okay with xale mu duga mu yaha then pa mu ñëw foofu noonu mu yaha because pa bi su yaaxee moom mu ngay yaha ëllëg bi nga xam ne man gisuma ko bokkuma si and I have no one else to blame because mom dem na bàyyee ma yaha and that is the context fu ma doon waxee but nekkul ne I am supporting ki nga xam ne one naka lañ ko dee waxee dafa yaha two is incompetent X Y and Z no when we get to the competency, like right now, I cannot accuse Talib of stealing anything because the commission is still ongoing until they do all their conclusion. I know they're not doing the sittings, but if the conclusions happen, this is what Talib did, and this is the white paper, then we can come and crucify him for that. This is what he did. This is what he did. Yeah, not that. But I can't come here, money. Talib the Fasaja Halis, Talib the Fayahali. And this is why when people ask me, what does Talib what has Talib done for the people of KMC? I cannot speak to that because I don't live there. What Talib Lala did for the people of KMC? I cannot speak to that because I don't live there. But the only example I can give you is that when he needed their vote, they decided to vote for him. And I want to respect the voters' name. They are voting, they're not stupid.
Assalamu alaikum.
So for like
understand bi nga waxee understand nañ fi nga nekk di waxee understand very well fi nga nekk di waxee but what I'm saying is xam nga right now you're opening the scope to the issue of competence then don't discuss the issue of relativity ku nekk what you relate to lan moo nekk di reflect on the person lan nga si gis ba nga mun a affiliate sa boppa with the person and whether that is something grounds for voting in. So that was where the line of the conversation was on. But then the idea of we're going to talk about the competence of you. Man Talib is not my cup of tea. Because man, as a resident of KM, gisuma fa lo xamne def nako bem doyma to a point ne I could push him for leadership. So I'm on 85 years, sir. As long as it's Talib Ahmed Bensouda, man, I don't see him competent enough to run for presidency. Man, that is my personal view. It's not about his age or KMC Laneka or wherever. Man lol monika man suma personal belief amna kenen tamit mom mi ngi tiye benen we all respect those very little differences why so gisee waxi yaa bi ñewon was ne a lot of people in the Gambia dañ dee wax ne leaders yi musa am other than Barrow ñom ñep came in very young te most of the time so they watana ñu bëri dañ la dee wax so gisee ñom ñeme wuñ a youth leader because of xale yi ñewon nañ we gave them chance and guy dañ yaaxa these are some of the conversations you xam ne nit ñi dañ ko dee am. So hamga yo for a very long time yange argue we need to have young people in power arguing man suma line of argument was ne the age is not the bone of contention here. I would rather have pabo hamne let's say magla why mung ma jox the results that I want than a young person bi nga xamne eleg ak ci bir mun nañu to campé why duma mëna jox the results that I want. So comme ni nga wax it's ku nekk sa view ak ku nekk noko jappé and I respect your views for that. But then let's just allow others come in. Why man, what did not sit well with me, and I would keep saying that, is the fact to say, I would rather have him mess things up, so long as he's a young person, than have an old man mess things up from that angle. So that is just it for me.
Well, it's all the same. They all mess things anyways.
No, Brene kom den gwara Talib because Talib is young. Even though he has no manifesto yet, he has no policy binga hamne fufla mo sukandeko. Just the fact that he is young and he was voted twice as mayor, which is very questionable. I'm not Benin party, US, Golden Era party. This guy is also very young. So far, what people are saying is he's helping the people. I mean, he's built his business in Gambia. He's employing Gambians. He's doing well, and he has a good track record. He's well educated, and he has very good policies when it comes to agriculture, which are actually more than and also when it comes to waste management and recycling. He has very sound policies when it comes to that. So and he's even younger than Talib. Why are you not going for him and instead go for Talib?
Because I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know anything about that. The only thing I know is that Nene lady. And I think I was away when they came on TikTok talking about their ambition and everything else. And Taflon, in fact, shared the thing with me. And until today, Anna Taflon said, Taflon would be a witness. Now. I am requesting information about what they have to offer and all of that stuff. I'm asking my life,
on YouTube.
but
It's
I
on
can't
YouTube.
necessarily
Balal leen
come
ma
out
dama
and
bëgg a
say,
génn dama bëgg a wax tuuti
but
rek.
sister, maa ngi wax nag su maa ngi nekk si digg wax no waxe.
Ma ne, you don't disrespect people like
No,
that.
I'm not disrespecting you. If I am speaking, maa ngi si digg wax ba pare yaa ngi nuyu mel di ko wax ne yow da ko bëgg a wax. Who is respecting who?
Sis baya man maa war a ñëw wax si waaye baya mu wax ba pare daf waa gosu waa ba pare
No,
gosu
Amadou,
waa
just pour mu em foofu noonu. I don't know anything about
si
this
yow
stuff yet.
sis apa si gaawa suma
Okay,
pare
okay.
So ma bàyyi ko foofu noonu. I guess yow man and yow can talk about it later.
Yeah. Kini Queen bala ma rek Jawara dem daf fi yaaga su ko defee Jawara mu ñëw after yow mun ngaa ñëw Jawara ñëwal.
oh thank you so much maa ngi laa nuyu ñëpp di rafetlu plateforme bi di nuyu Gambien yi ñi nekk fii ak ñi nekk abroad yi ñëpp waa man lu ma understand mooy gis nga am na dañoo def mooy suñu mistake la lu ñoo def am na loo xam ne suñ ko defee lu ma gis ni man Adama Barrow dafa jëlaat dëkk bi waaw straight forward loolu sax gis nga Bensouda moom kenn appartient bu moom foom ni ak luy daw ni yëpp moom tay génne fii Barrow benn ñaar Essa Faal ak bu moom foom ni kitikata yëpp du fi mun a génne Barrow UDP the same thing so the only thing mooy coalition te ñi nga gis ni yëpp ku nekk du nangu coalition ku nekk pare su nangu coalition sax dafa nekk problème kan moo war a jiite te du fi jiite li xam nga fi lan la nañ booloo ñun yëpp ñu génne fi Adama Barrow suñ ko fi génne ba pare yow soo jiitoo daal suñ gisee sax li nga jiite baaxul benn taam second taam duñ la xamay sax ñu génne naka keneen toogaat waaye du musa dem understand nga ñun loolu ñu disturb kii du good option de pour ma wax leen loolu tamit de ñu durale Talib is a bad option de likewise Essa Faal tamit de it's a bad option de they are all bad options so gars yi dañu war a wake up si loolu ba puloo nga baala ma de they are all bad options Amadou su la nee nga ubbi sa may bi nga wax dama laa wax rek boo
Dara mu gën a xam jiwtaan continue.
waaw
léegi yow loo ma baaloo man lu ci suma yoon si team Talib
So Paris ak may good option yeah.
ma ne ko mën moom waaye léegi yéen seetaankat yi doo leen yóbbu live bi 100k at least tapate
xam nga baa ma bàyyi leen baa ma bàyyi
seet leen ma gift tamit yooni leen ma gift
Mane da ngeen war a yërëm Talib na dañ ko daka
Talib daxuñ ko boo daxa boppam
Talib daaxuñ ko de déedéet kenn daaxut ko.
kan moo ne dakkuñ ko
Kenn daaxut ko.
waaye yéen xaar leen naka la mel
Mane
ni
dañ ko
amee
dàq.
1.9 mel deeroo ma suma gift la woon ku la may loolu
Man xaw ma sax fu mu jógee di.
ku may
Man xaw
loolu
ma fu mu
mel
jógee.
mayu leen ma loolu
I don't know. Yeah, Queen mu ngi bëggoon a ñëw.
ok
I don't know how ma fan lam jógee.
bu leen ma may ay roses may leen ma kado yu rëy
baaxul la
déedéet Mr Diallo yow tam mayal Queen Mr Diallo mii nii tey naan ataaya de
maa ngi nii ci barada bi depuis suba
maa waase maa su baax la
waaw ma jokko rek moo yow
waa Jawara yow tapateel live bi waaye Queen ñëwal suma doom bi bu ngeen woy ma bu ngeen toppal
Asalaamaaleykum. Ndapule nuyu naa la nuyu naa ñi si
waaleykum salaam nuyu naa la
al an ko yéen ñëpp maa ngi leen di nuyu. Di jégalu nag bi ma wax mel I was just interjecting pour wax ko rek ne ko dama génn ndax mun na maa may. You know, I don't do people rude, especially in public, and I don't expect the same back. Li ma bëgg a wax rek mooy Aliya wax nga fi yow Ghost ba pare baay bi nga daanelee I don't think ne nit ñi bàyyi nañ xel sax si li nga wax nga ne yow mënuloo wax si Talib lu bari parce que yow nekkuloo Gambia waaye mun ngaa toog fi nga toog nga wax Essa liggéeyu dara Gambia gis nga Gambia fi mu nekk nii whether old or young ñun amuñ time pour waste pour try nit ki pour seet ndax dina ñëw ndax dina sàcca wala du sàcca ñun amuñ joti loolu we have wasted 65 years already. Gambia, you cannot even compare it to Senegal, much more any other country. And that is very sad. That is very sad. We blame our leaders, yes, but we are the ones that are electing our leaders. Telima sigina jahal moy. We're here castigating the old people. I don't know how they put Essa Mbye Fall under the group of old people, but it's all the same. Thank you. But liñ dee wax la rek mag mun naa bàyyi si réew su dee mag mu mel ni Essa la mun naa bàyyi si réew parce que he has come with his education and his experience ak buga bum am for Gambians which is loud and clear. So there are certain things man dama expect somebody in their late 80s getting to 100 that has Alzheimer's pour mu waxe yena façon ñu waxi than coming from somebody that is young and intellectual and can think and make decisions. So fekkee ne ñun ñëpp most of us here ñu ngi Europe or we're in America. Soy dem pour apply for a job, you tender your CV or your resume. Do they pick you because of age? Or do they pick you because of your work, your education and work experience, and you have to indicate your referees, your hamne? They would call those people pour ñu mëna find out about your character and who you are. So suñ waré talk rek di wax waxi age, man, it just baffles me from the people from whose mouth it's coming from. Because su fekkee ne ñun ñëpp ñu ngi dëkk Europe or America ñu ngi xool dëkk yi nii ni moo doxee ñu war a toog fii xool Gambia ni moo domee ñuy waxi age ne age doesn't matter ku ñëw su fekkee ne xalal nga if you're corrupt it's okay nga dem wala soo ñëwee mag I don't know how the interpretation went we might as well leave Adama Barrow there. ñun amatuñ time. We have run out of time. Gambians are hungry. Gambians are desperate. There's no security in our country anymore. There's no sector that is working in our country. Te su fekkee ne danga toog pour jéem a analyse sa dëkka ngay analyse presidential candidacy for now all you need to do is go in and check all of them their curriculum vitae. Check their CVs or their resumes, whatever you may call it. Seet seen jaar-jaar si àddina. What have they done? Comme ni ngeen ko waxee. From Sadawda Kairaba Jawara ba léegi kenn musuta laaj kenn lan nga defal Gambia pour ñu war laa mun a elect as president because it's not one of the criteria. So ñun fi mu nekk nii the politics of partisanship, the politics of yaama neex dafa war a génn gis nga ñun gaayan ko wax fii ni ñun ñu toppa Essa Mbye Fall yëpp toppuñ ko because moo ñu neex no. Because we are responsible people in our own worlds. And we know what Gambia is going through. Bepare ñu gis ne with his track record, both in the Gambia and internationally, moom rek moo ñu fa mun a génne. Essa coming in as the president of the republic, he's just gonna flip fingers and get things done. ñun amuñ time di elect koo xam ne dangaa ñëw toog di xaar di seet fan nga war a commencé o fan nga warut a commencé amuñ time boobu noonu ñu ne ko xiif kenn du ko wax ne raxasul te Gambien si fi mu nekk nii si situation boobu noonu lañ toolu soo ñun ñëpp suñuy wax si plateforme si nañ bàyyi xel ñi nga xam ne ñu nga toog place boo xam ne amuñ doom bu leen yónnee xaalis bu nekk Europe amul mbokk bu leen yónnee xaalis bu nekk Europe they're struggling every day. Demba si sun live show bi this lady came dafa jaay jën mu ngi ñoo woon jën $2,800 benn jën 1,800 some are selling kujali instead of $15,000 $24,000 you are here talking about age yéen yërëmu leen Gambian si nekk Gambia nga xam ne they getting $5,000 salary, $10,000 salary. They cannot even afford 1 square meal. Waxuma la fayal seen doomi school fees or medical bills or anything. Suñuy wax as intellectuals, let us use our minds. Suñu yàlla jox. We went to school for a reason. To be able to reason, to be able to digress certain things and make proper decisions. Because this time round, if we make a mistake again, dina metti ak ñun. Gambia léegi security zero. Li ñoo gis Gambia léegi musuñ koo gis since 1965 ba léegi. So ñu ngi talk fi di wax about age. So how can anybody sit down nga talk di compare Essa Faal ak Talib Bensouda? How? They don't even fit in one sentence. Ku si nekka doomi julit nga or doomi Christian nga. So demee talk in your own corner ragalal yàlla si li nga wax. Parce que ku si nekka xamante ne ñun ñëpp ku si nekka lan nga mun. All the presidential candidates. Lu tax ñeneen ñi ñëpp laaju leen lan lañ defal Gambia su fekkee ne dañoo that is one of the criteria. Kon ñu bari kon they're not eligible to be a presidential candidate. Man li ma ñaax rek mooy ñu bàyyi xel li ñoo wax te xam ne Gambia fi mu nekk nii dafa nekk in a very dire situation, and we need somebody like Essa Faal who has the connections, who has the experience and the education ak yërmande bi ak pas-pas bi pour dimbale Gambia si pour rescue ñu fuñ génna with his team in good faith and with honesty. Ngeen baalal ma thank you for the opportunity.
Goes harder. Wait.
Just 1 second, please. Just give me this.
Okay.
Sister, daga ñëw fii nii and you preach respect. Your opponent nga ne daga bëgg kula respect. And you did not demonstrate that respect because it was not accorded to me. Well, di nga wàcce. However, man nag duma la disrespect. Dama la bàyyi bi. Waaw. Dama la bàyyi bi.
Waaw Bapulo man maay ñëw léegi.
Jallo déedéet may leen ma xam nga li ma bëgg a wax because xam nga ñun lu tax we cannot have a conversation. Democracy wax sax ba nit ñi di wax ne I'm speaking on behalf of him because mun naa waxal boppam. Why everybody dafa am opinion. Su goes amee opinion based on age nit ñi dañ ko war a respect. You know, Essa Faal is a political candidate. Naka political party leader. Ak ñeneen na ñeneen people have opinion. So be ya people am na ñeneen ñoo xam ne they have opinion on Ousainou Darboe, they have opinion on others. Why can't we respect people's opinion? This is democracy for God's sake. Why if someone says ne man suma pas mooy ne na paa yi dem toog keneen mu ñëw ku yonga na ñëw we respect that for them. Why wax bi warutoon a àgga fu moo dem nii. You know bu yàggee dafa turn personal and this is politics. Ku nekka am nga right pour ne man Gambia lii laa ko bugal loolu la ñoo def because fii suñ ne man su ma ne Essa Faal munul maa jiite demaa ne lii moo tax Essa Faal munul maa jiite. Why we cannot just demonize someone for saying that man ku ndaw laa buga mu jiite loolu is your opinion and is moom tamit opinion am la so respecting each other's opinion moo tax ñu mun a am a conversation. Why bu nekkul loolu dafa dem turn out to be du nekkati a political discussion is gonna be a personal attack stuff. Please ñaan naa leen lii yëpp waruta am lii dafa nekk loo xam ne man I thought it's just gonna be one of those things boo xam ne kelli dafa wax heccu 5 minutes then it die down but it's becoming longer than necessary. You know it's coming longer than necessary te jarut ko. You know ñu fii la day talk brute politique ñu ne this is the same reason why people just stop. Man suma baasi may ñëw di jaay suma nokkos suma ñàkka jom bi sax moo tax may toog fii di wax ay ay ñeneen I should not be even talking about politics because Gambians si mënuñoo am like a conversation ñu xam ne ku nekk mun naa feetoo feneen ñu waxtaan lii moo tax we have opinions we have options because su fekkee ne benn nit la ñoo toppa lan mooy démocratie kon nañ toppa benn nit. Why we have options and every day there is someone new.
Marisol mu fi sari.
Ku nekk mu nge ñëw.
Man yow noppil man yow noppil.
Fii laa nekk So please, nyanalen, buñ them nothing passional, wala lenen, wala bu can feel offended. These are political leaders. They are public figures. People are gonna have opinions on them. The same way the person you support, yow tam yaa ngi am opinion ci keneen. So please ñaan naa leen nañ ko def rek mu rafet mu dara nekk fi back and forth te santé politique la te dina gën a tàngal yi. It's just starting.
ku fi ñëwaat di attaque Barrow dam la attaque personnel.
man yow demal fole yéen 10 millions
yow noppil man maa war a ñëw noppil.
So please ñaan naa leen.
Mr. Diallo yaay ñu ak Amanda.
Hey, noppil please. Okay. Xam nga dañu ne amuñu time te dal sa micro bi because yaa ngi école. Barrow.
Kan ma eko?
Yow yaa eko yow mu nga Barrow fan?
Yow yaa eko.
Bapulo mo na eko. Bapulo la.
Ma tooñ rek baalal ma.
Barrow la. Okay. Xam nga dañu war a am time. Because dégg naa kii mu ne amuñu time pour choose. Loolu moo ñu ngi fu ñu nekk na. Because 2016 amuñu woon time pour choose. Loolu moo tax tey ñu nekk fu ñu nekk. suñu waxee 2026 itam amuñu time pour choose xam naa balaa 2031 dana tàngade kon dañu war a am time man Talib Bensouda sax dama ko yërëm because dañ ko dàkka loolu moo tax ma yërëm ko sax because amoon na parti ñu dàkka ko moo tax moom itam mu form parti because suñu la dàkkee il faut nga form parti because lu tax ma ne dañ ko dàkka because dañ ko saaga saaga bi jógewut MPP jógewut GDC jógewut Sobeya saaga bi ci parti bu mu nekk foofu la jógee loolu moo tax ma ne dañ ko saaga su fekkee ne ñun ñoo ko saagoon GDC wala MPP du daw foofu lay toog because ñun ñoo ko saaga opposition ñoo ko saaga wala kum kii Adama Barrow moo ko parti am bi moo ko saaga moom dana nekk foofu because xam na ne mu ngi xaar lu ëppa loolu waaye unfortunately moom dañ ko dàkk moo tax mu daw kon jàppaleen ko loolu xam naa ngeen jàppale ko loolu waaye man na bugguma mu nekk président from moom ak kii ku ne Dabo fii Brikama ñoom ñëpp bugguma ñu nekk président because seen palaasi bi liggéeyuñu man suma kër ci suma kër man maa ngi fay more than $5,000 every year council tax waaye man suma yoon bi su ndox bi a ñëwee munuma dem munuma romba te suma biin bi man maay fay borom saret yi ñu ñëw jëli suma biin yi ñoom lan lañ ma wax lu ñu liggéey ci suma 5,000 bi xaw ma fan lañ ko def waaye gisuma fan lañ ko def o fu ñu ko def mooy KMC bi ak West Coast seen mayo yi ma xaw ma fan lañ def 5,000 boobu te du 5,000 boobu rek la de Brikama sax am naa foofu maa ngi fay foofu itam beneen taxe waaye gisuma dara ku nekkoon base kii ku génn foofu UDPN boobu kooku itam the same thing maa ngi fay foofu taxe waaye deful dara ñun suñ council yi lan mooy seen liggéey wala ñoom ñu nekk si seen boor ñoom rek lañu war a liggéeyal waaye ñu leen sori ñoom ñoo war nañ fay taxe waaye ñoo xam ne ci biir Brikama is okay waaye ci gannaaw Brikama ñoom tam foofu la ñoo fay taxe waaye ñoom amuñu dara ci seen tax payment man fii maa ngi fay tax payment fii UK waaye ñoom ñooy jël suma biin yi ñoom ñoo koy jël am na liggéey yu bari lu ñu ma nekk di defal te damay fay fi tax council bi moo koy def waaye ñoom lan la ñu nekk di def man foog naa ne council yi wala mayo yi waruñu leen jox possibility pour ñu nekk président in Gambia suñu defee loolu ya danañ dugga ci pax boo xam ne dana ëpp pax bu nga xam ne su boobu la ñu nekk tey jërëjëf.
man maa war a ñëw. asalaamaaleykum na ngeen def nii naa la yéen ñëpp damaa joxe disclaimer bi fii gis nga fii ko bëgg ñu ko attaque sa leader bul attaque leader jaamur te man dama ko wax dama ko assume rakalu ma ko de il n'y a pas d'alternative de la justice ici dans la pays de TikTok. J'assume.
Parlez anglais.
Wow. képp ko xamante ku attaque Adama Barrow na attaque tam sa leader fu mu gën a ñaawee tamit kon ne nañ ko def in a decorum su nekkee nit ki mu xam mooy fii du sa place wàccal konte nga dem wala nga dem taal sa life comme man rek su ma xamee fii du suma lefi su ma dëkkee di sonal tam dee wàcce nanka ma dem taal suma life boobu mun naa wax nu ma saf but nonetheless dama bëgg a am tam suma own argument dégg naa ne ñi bu ñu ngi wax seen opinion ku nekk mu ngi ñëw sa leader yaa ngi support sa leader and age man dam lee la te nit ki nit ñi ok age la nee nga nekk 100 years lan moo tax ñu ne démocratie at the end of the day is the will of the people ku gaay bugga Gambia ñooy mun a define seen président ne ko toog America wala ko toog Germany wala ko toog Canada wala ko toog muy mooy mun a wax kooku noonu ñun nan la ñoo dundee xam nga sometimes dañ dee exaggerate tam suñu waxi oh Gambia den xiif ku ne wax Gambia den xiif sometimes Gambia the same ordinary people ne di la te ñëw ñii xalaat ku gaay te ne den dox ñun ba mu fa xiif ba mu ne menig laaj den toog kan moo mun a wax ban bés Gambia dafa toog mënut a fay salari kenn mënut a dem liggéey moo tax parti Jallow daf ko wax someone who say the Gambia amul security yaa ngi politique wala yaa ngi caaxaan and that is hard fact ne na wante dëgg te yàlla tax ban moo ak Gambia foo xam ne sax moo gën a Ghana bu gaay di embir wala Sénégal ñoom sax dañ dee am problème sax pour fay seen salaire waaye kan moo mun a Gambia dañ toog amuñu ñoo am salary ba ay 10 months fayin salaries nga ne dëkk boobu noonu ne ko di dox oh Gambia is not working kan moo sax benn bés la government shut down kenn mënut a liggéey full entire government den kon suñu wax bi rek ne koo exagéré neen wàññi tempo politique jarul ko fii ku nekk dafa dem school ku dem school sax am na xel am na 5 commencé yàlla may la ko xam-xam boobu noonu so man saani man nu ma bëgg nga ne man nu ma bind dafa rong nangul naa la ko itam fii nu mun di def xama jóg toog
si c'est sérieux waay
non sorry suma loxo ma ko laal fii noo mun di def ku nekk dina am opinion even nga def sa nu baax sax ku nekk dafa am opinion fu yàlla xanaa ne ñu nekk ni ko so ñu ne yàlla dafa mistake mu binda kii nii so who are we as a human being pour keneen mu question dafay am ñëpp ñu ne dem bëgg a dem maré na pare man xam naa leneen de Adama Barrow di nga ko gisee number 1 maré na pare ñu bëri ni jooy waati man wax naa ko de maa ngi amee empty land ku daanu crise rek I can send you ambulance free of charge ma dem pick la ma yóbbu la foofu noonu nga res soo di jógee may dellu la soo diwutee ñu boole la foofu rek suuraale rek that's all
si c'est tamit
xam nga sometimes it's a big insult if people okay Barrow sa jàngur sa ñu nekk si man I can tell you for free am na ñu nekk si Barrow cabinet ñoo gën a am qualification Essa Mbay Fall su nekkee académie rek dañoo wax ko am ñu ko fa gën a ëpp degree su nekkee université dañoo wax am not saying education is not ok na mun naa tey mun nga ay si benn paa yi saraxule nga jox ko 100,000 nga ne ko indil ma 1 million 3 months balaa 3 months am andi la 1 million ba waaye technocratie ñoo ñu sonal ñun depuis 1965 technocratie ñoo ñu sonal te ñoom ñu amee lifin oh we have to do in collaboration we sit and discuss into the awareness fekk yaa ngi awareness yaa ngi dépasse ba sax nekk la ñu andil waaye yaa ngi jël rek di jël technocratie la de so nen wante ni ñi dëgga sometimes leadership is not about xam nga lan mooy leadership nga am the policy nga am a control of an institution nga am direction nga am implementation ñu ko def loolu mooy leadership kan moo mun a wax tey Adama Barrow moo mun a jàngal tey all opposition party what is presidency kan moo mun a dem si university ñu ne ko jàngal président none of them but tey he should moo gën a nekk tey big professor pour teach leen what is presidency all about parce que musuñ koo nekka and that's the hard part tey loolu la yàlla dogal wala nga bañ Adama Barrow wala nga bëgg ko loolu la yàlla dogal am na ñeneen ñoo xam ne ñu ngi serve in government with high dignity ak respect ak den educate te ñu ngi def their best of their ability ci seen fonction nu leen gaay dénka man sometimes dam dee na lii yëpp politique jar na ko léegi neen xaar kii man dam dee man sometimes dam dee bafu ma ne bu nekk NPP kese it's just a waste of time sax pour dem dafa campagne ak let's say SAB fa wala Talib Bensouda it's just a waste of time oto ak moo tax ma demee su la dam lay wax that is not your subject your continuing sa campaign as NPP bul attaque kenn campagnal nga isi sa nga ni sa policy yoo lay nekk di government programme si nga jaay ko bu dem attaquante ak keneen wax sa opinion bul attaquante ak kenn soo paree
Pulo jam naa la Galaxy ibil ma comment section
Tefla man dama foog ne Galaxy bi man la doon ñëw sama gis nga di xool yaa Galaxy
jam naa ba Pulo Galaxy
man sometimes daf ma lay jaay
comment section you know because suñu amut comment section bi dañoo nelaw right now so at least
waaye Tefla yow ma sora yow dema jaay yow moo gis naa la yow li wax beneen
yow ëpp Tefla war loo ma woon neexal de parce que ñi xoolal live bi hardly ma seet how many hours 7 hours ñun nit ñi ñu fi am suñ time toog di waxtaanee Gambie waaye da ngeen dee siidee tapatel nit ki live bi tapatele live bi
léegi jëndal TikTok
ko report
Bapulo
bi boo ko dégg
Bapulo da ngaa jënd dara Timu léegi daf la ko dóoral
help the live stay on
Timu da ngaa jënd dara Timu da nga
non dama doon tontu kenn Bapulo hala soo gisee suma comment mi nga tëjaat ko hala am na ku ma doon tontu nag
Bapulo nag is not fair ne ñu wax ne ba pare kenn toppul kenn xam nga gis nga nit gis nga Bapulo yow nag da nga war a adresse dara yow foog naa yow tam
déedéet si sa waxaat
xaaral rek
si sa baalal
déedéet Bapulo xam nga lan la Bapulo xaw ma da ngaa pick and choose ñoo xam ne ñu def ne da nga leen respect or whatever
da nga wàcc fi dama war a am
boy gis na dama ñëw ma noppi
may ñu nag boy fi mu nekk boy yàgg nga wax
15 minutes yaa ngi yow maa ngi noppi
quoi si lu tax gars yi feyuñ ju set Ghanaian si ñibi
nga ne daan
you said lu tax government bi feyuñ
gis nga lii moo la gis nga misinformation and you said lecturers yu fay ñëw noonu nekku more responsible pour seen payment seen salaries what is the government of the Gambia nu gaa war a def ko nekk seen accommodation loolu seen government to government la nit ki nga soo xamante dañ ko mu leer it's not the Gambia government that is paying those people caucus yu lay jógee noonu Nigeria to the Gambia nekku Gambia government dafa war a clair wax bi moom da nga daan wàcc wala nga dem loo tey ku la jox information bi na it's not accurate ma maal ko I can sit and tell you with authority non déglu ma déedéet du ma teg suma ku nekk dafa wax fi 15 minutes maa ngi leen di dégg maa ngi toog
5 minutes ak wax 5 minutes
déedéet loolu sorry to use loolu amut fii gis naa ko time bi dafa dem ba jeex ku nekk ñu baa ñu ngi laa wax ne na waxte dëgg te yàlla tax gis nga dem wax di respectante
Mr. President, call me, you call me, senor.
Vice President, Mr. President, mu tek baram.
Wa hara ma jekali 2 minutes rek ma jekal ma daanel li. No, dama am moom dafa moom xam na dama ko war a demote léegi waaye dama ko baalal daf mo
go demote and is he working for you?
I'm the president and he's the vice president.
I'm his vice president.
Yeah, Ghost, you know what Cisse does?
Gënal ci li nga nekk boy Ghost doo bàyyi suñ payi boy jëmala bàyyi suñ payi boy yow lan la nii boy yow lu sa problème boy Ghost yow lu sa problème boy
waaw man dama bëgg a wax lii benn yoon
in conclusion
boy man dama ñëw fii pour waa Ghost ne thank you very much tey moom gis naa da nga dawloo gaay yi kii di rek a toog
déglu ma
non Ghost man si beneen live di dégg sa xibaar
in conclusion damay dem wàcc
man sa beneen live di dégg sa xibaar boy Ghost legend
in conclusion
man ko sa tax ma ñëw sa boy
def no Heri sa dama ko dawloo bés boobu sa dama ko dawloo tamit
tef boy naka nga seetaanee Ghost nekk fii boy
man nekkuma fi woon xibaar bi daf ma fekk xam nga xibaar was written history was written today ma read ko fi beneen live
boy di altu suñ payi nii rek mooy suma ji ma boy Ghost gënal ci li nga nekk man bro
Ghost dama yaaga bañ payi
nga yow sa paa bi suma waay la de
naka set construction wax da set construction
Bapulo do wa sa audience su rag baagi sa panel yi sa andal ñu am de ko
yow ci sa daanel na
de daanel mo wax sa gañ am de
lay ba ngay wàcce de
di programme
gaay dañ bañ a tapote bàyyi leen
lay ba ngay wàcce waay
boy
in conclusion
wax rek mooy ne boy ndoo yi boy suñ leen fi joxe suñ
in conclusion su nekkee yow xaaral rek da nga fekk fii nit ñi in conclusion su nekkee project la su nekkee project la paali du moo nekk di wax nii Rohey Malick ñoom comme su nekkee dëgg rek moo neex yàlla gis nga tey soo gisee tey ñoom ñu mun a bénéficier EU is Rohey Malick Banjul EU su nekkee tey Bloomberg bu ñëw di wax ni 50 millions Banjul moo leen ko ñu ko am te ñu gis neen resource yu waa Banjul am ne leen waxante dëgg te yàlla bu nga politique waxa nit ki dëgg taxul ne nga nekk nit ku bon wala nga nekk fenkat su nekkee track record la am na ñu bëri ñu ngi liggéey fa am na seen track record yélo nañ ko pour nekk président yow la nga ne Adama Barrow mënut liggéey bi kenn soo esambee fa mënul liggéey loolu luy problème bi kenn ko de xanaa ko de su bëgg de kay ku ko criticize kay bu mu nekk politicien esambee fa mën naa ko wax sax dafa wax something wrong da dama ko attaqué déedéet loolu
Mr. President, pick my call. Let's talk quickly.
Boy, President, Daniel boy, send new one.
Why don't they know Adama Barrow will win 2026? Whether you like it or not, that is the truth. Lola yala daga.
Okay, nangul nañ la ko.
Thank you.
Na am ku ñëw dama lekk cere.
Sarafule rek la.
No, man la.
Wa may na leen.
Dama buga.
Adama Barrow mi ne ma may leen na kong.
Buga bay. Tey dama bëgg a def lu
fii du Sobeya platform dem leen seen Sobeya platform fi independent
ñëwal Julius ñëwal
Cissé respect ñu nag léegi nag
dama respectoon na respect is reciprocal
waaw léegi kan moo wax ku wax rek dama laa wàcce égal keneen waaye am na ñeneen ñu bëgg
waaw maa war a wax léegi
esa mbay fa boobu du musa gis dama mare na
te Cissé li nga gis démb keep ko between man maa yor rek dégg nga
waaw non ma loo bul wori loolu décision li fi bul wori bàyyi gars rek ñu gisante xam nga man ne fii andi caga rek la nañ ko bàyyee noonu rek
suma rek yow fenn rek ma ne la ñu keep ko yow yaa
non bul wori sax to be frank with you my face holy baptism I will never do so
guys before that live bi xaar leen Wait, guys, violent jahada. Bule report right.
Ghost, call me. I'm waiting for your call. If not,
Madu Ghost mo tag guy he report live.
Money holland. Hiri best mo kada daw na holland. Teflon. Best we hiri am no wara mi ne mu ngey dem. Bu dama ko danel.
Kayle ba may len 20 pounds. Ma tok fi depuis suba. Ma nek ci live bi. Ngeen jël di report suma live bi legi di. Bu len ba indil ciow bu ko ba wax. Holal live bi. Bu naa ko screenshot loolu ko reporté lii laa la yónni leen heart bi ngeen def good life xaw ma naka def leen something yónni leen heart bi
technical assistance is always available but
Cissé ko xam gisoo live
madam this no problem hanga heri bezo dam na yang
live bi dafa nga dem I cannot pick anyone I cannot drop anyone
Ghost, call me and we go.
Yes, yes.
Sure, I will call you, sir.
She said they would not go drop. Why said construction? Would go drop? Kiba anu da jide? Kyle?
No, mo ngay chop.
Buga bay.
Utanga ma drop da fu. Utanga buga ma.
Yo gane agele ka cere? But did you go?
Mangel ka cere. Ma cere kai. Wa jëlal keneen ma ñëw wa nga dégg
waaye sa setis bi yow kenn du la waaj ku report live ko yàlla sa guddi la ben bala lu bala aha waaye gos yow di ba gif bu rëy ba live bi bu ñëwaat ku report live bi boobu yàlla na am biir bu daw na de ba yow la
hello yéen a ma dégg waaw ma ne maa ngi doon déglu 20 allo ma ne maa ngi doon déglu 2026 mu ngi wax affaire university bi ak ne government is not paying it may be true because there is what you call technical assistance and it can be in the form of lecturers. Why there is hidden cost to that technical assistance. Sometimes it's accommodation, transportation, sometimes air tickets like the Cuban doctors. The government of the Gambia is responsible for their flights home. Sunyame leave. So Bunje Kasa, because it was difficult going to Cuba, then Lendan Utale charter. Them. So these are all costs you have hidden. Yes, we may not pay salaries, but we end up paying for accommodation and logistics. And I don't know what's the contract for the people at the university, but that may happen. But back to the issue of GTTI being turned into a university. I think that was not the right move if you look at the labor market. University and education in general in any country, it has to be demand-driven. Demand-driven meaning you produce what the economy asks for rather than you give the economy what you want to give. Lolu mota rate of unemployment more high in the Gambia. Today, GTTI would have been the perfect place to produce tilers, electricians, mechanics. But now if you want to give them degrees, you're professionalizing their careers instead of vocationalizing it. Who wants to hire a mason degree holder? You're pricing them out of the market. So it's somehow counterproductive because market bilim need is skilled and semi-skilled. And if you look at the people with degrees looking for a job, there's so many, and most of them don't want skilled labor jobs. So GTTI, Linko establish one, swing stay on new yoka scope bi, yoka send training bi, yoka equipment senior jange the practical purpose of their job. It would have been ideal for the economy. Why so they may be a new sohla grader driver, someone to drive a grader. Gabo ko your degree. You're making him difficult to get a job. Masong ko a bachelor's degree in construction and masonry. You're putting a nice title to it, and sometimes the jobs that are available, they feel overqualified. So I think that's a problem in terms of turning
Boy, buga bay ñëwal boy.
Waaw boy nuyu naa leen boy. Non man
Boy fay nañ la.
mooy ne te amin.
Waaye okul kaari boo jiitu bugg a bàyyi de.
Non man ko woo bu yàgga waaye
okul kaari
dafa jàppa or something.
okul kaari kaay.
Buga bay. Boy ma o boy ne nga ibi sa mic bi.
No. Waaye yéen a ngi ma interrupt de.
You know? No, boy ñang yaa interrupt guy nag.
No. I was in the middle of a
No, da nga fi fekk guy moo tax Jobis wàcc.
Mr. Ndiaye yow
déedéet man Jobis bi mu wàccee laa wax nañ wax dëgg de.
No, ma ne guy da nga fa fekk guy.
No, waxuma ne fekkuma leen fa de. I'm just stating the fact ne Jobis dafa wàcce prior to ma wax. I'm not saying ne yéen ñëpp fii laa leen fekk loolu dëgg la weddiwuma loolu. Waaye kan doon wax ne Njaay fii lañ la fekk am na ku bëgg a lifin de.
Non déedéet ma ne yow fii nga ñu fekk dañ la may rek pour nga wax rek. waaye
non d'accord naa ne dañ ma may de.
Okay.
Teflon moo wax loo xam ne it wasn't a statement of fact and I rectified.
No, waaye ñang Teflon wax na dëgg de. am nga fa naa ne da nga get caught up nga am loo miss. because Teflon li moo wax noonu man dama buttress the truth rek xam nga bi nga egg si nga ne waa mail ma dafa am lu mu wax si la Jobis comment mu ne ma ne man maa war a wax ñun ñoo war a wax mail leen ñu wax.
waaye dooruma wax time boobu.
waaw waxuma na nga start de because da nga doon bugg a start xam nga bugg a start intention. waa xaaral rek action is judged by intention.
waaye after loolu am na conversation.
waaw may ma rek ma leeral lii because Hiri moo la bugg a engage te fekk Jobis a ngi bugg a wax den Jobis mi ne ma ne mail leen ñu nag ñu wax because xam na ne soo starté yaa Hiri dafa nekk question and answer session comme niñ ko fi dee amee léegi moo tax moom mi ne bàyyi leen ñu wax su mu gis ne yaa ngi wax dafa am lu ma bëgg a wax rek ma wàcca bàyyi leen ma wax pare ma wàcca bu nga waxee loolu nag si laa gis moom mu drop bi ko xam naa
waaw yow tamit dinaa la connecté waxuma ne ma wax wàcca xam nga nag man leena la dama sew
yow yaa wax loolu li nga ne xaaral ma liggéey
non man usuma word wàcca
waaw wax nga
waaw waaye usuma the word wàcca it's not part of my vocabulary
léegi da nga bëgg a naax de yow tamit yaa si màgget itaay de
non wàcca moo bokkul suma language rek moo tax ma xam ne waxuma
yow da nga ñëw rek siif affaire si booy yow da nga ñëw rek siif
may seen mag waaye bro may seen mag
non di yooyu
léegi da ngaa ticatu
waaye ma ne gannaaw xale ngeen bugga mu nekk président ngeen may mag ñi tamit ñu am senior citizenship right
léegi da ngaa ticatu léegi
ma ne moo fi ses dama ñëw fii ñu tuur poobar nañ ne ko def rek
non
dama am suma benn xarit dafa mentally challenged. By Abifal Latula. He comes to visit me. Munema
Mane,
suma
ana
jiko
hiri yow yaa
banjuli
binda
dafa
li nga
ñëw.
binda get out of here hiri.
Munema suma jiko banjuli dañ ñëw tey. Waaye nag man it suma jiko banjuli yaa ñëw.
Nick said your fire safety is out of date.
Well, man, I'm not a deputy white wall.
Te yow xam nga ma kon.
Mungok.
Ba nga waxee white wall rek fekk yow ban school nga nekkoon.
Man my word Muslim.
Te xanaa dang daan ñëw boor boobu na dang fa daan xaar see school boss.
No fala di hoon.
Fan Koren.
Jeex na tak.
Xam nga Koren man ma Seydina.
Waaw.
Una ak Mbey xam fàttaliku nga Mbey.
Okay.
This is the whole point of the conversation. He said Dabo is old, and old people cannot run the Gambia because Gambia is a youthful population, and old people don't know what they are doing, and that the youths of the Gambia should not support Dabo, and they should support somebody like Talib because Talib is a young guy.
Okay.
Mane, and let me add to that. Unko, why is Baba trying so hard to be like to look like Obasanjo? Huh? Even me Obasanjo, they don't have that.
Obasanjo runs Anglophone Africa.
Oh no, I'm the.
Obasanjo runs Anglophone
Baba
Africa.
wants to dress like Obasanjo. Baba wants to look like Obasanjo. Unko, Hanalo neka di hell.
Buffalo.
Baba is Baba.
Why Baba
He's not Obasanjo. No. We elected him again. We selected him again.
Wow, okay.
But what Hiri is saying, Hiri, I get what goes.
America put hip surgery be. Ngen hire man.
I get what.
This is not goes. In fact, I think it is so many people are doing you a favor to help you.
No. Because what Ghost said, man, I have a response to it. But I allowed Ghost to be Ghost today because Ghost was going after Sobeya in particular. Because hold on a second. What I've noticed about Sobeya is you people believe you can go it alone. Now you want to come to us to help you. We've seen this in 2021. We're seeing this again today.
True.
Yes, we're seeing this again today because you're involving UDP right now because you need our help. I'm going to help you. I'm going to do that for free. Yeah, you don't even have to give me an interstellar. Ghost, you're saying that you're saying
from your
you're saying no, the campaign has started. I've left and I'm coming for you. Now, Ghost, you clearly said that old people this and the other. Okay. So the youth, man, my argument to that would be
let's finish stuff long.
No, but can I just respond to you?
No, I just want them to let it be between me and you.
Okay, can I respond to you then?
Okay, go ahead.
Because you inserted Ghost in it. So I have to respond to you whilst responding to what Ghost said. Because everything you laid in front of me is what Ghost said, not what he said. So I have to respond to you and Ghost. So Usainu Dabo would be our leader. And if he's elected president, he is going to have those said youths that Ghost is talking about, that Ghost is championing. Because guess what? He's already shown us that. As the leader of UDP, he has gathered those same youths, one of them in particular being Talib, put him in the forefront, selected him to represent UDP at KMC, selected Yanks to represent UDP at BCC. So if he is president, the same young Naxunini were fucking interject the print. No, ñu ngey wax li bay ñu wax li den nga
waxal sa talib bi yow Mr. Yellow.
You know, so yeah, man net bu ma yellow net la bëgg diga net. Yeah. So Hiri, as I'm saying, Dabo would be president, inshallah. Everybody around him would be vibrant youth who understand what the youth of Gambia wants. The majority of the population being youth, being young people. So the people around him would be young people representing the hopes and the dreams of Gambia's young. He's already shown that. No other leader in this has shown this. When Barrow took a picture and said he met the youths, the youngest person there was like 67. Usainu Dabo is the answer for Gambia.
Mene?
Yeah, he's not corrupt. He understands the constitution. He understands the constitution better than the guy. Better than you can't just be shouting there like a football hooligan.
But it's
you
true.
have to calm down, my friend. Yeah, I am talking. You need to chill. Yeah. Now, this guy, this particular great thinker talking, they're the same crew that would come here all day long, tell us how brilliant Halifa Saleh is. Oh, Halifa dafa ham constitution be, constitution be regla ham, constitution be regla ham. Yet, boy, Haral Mad Daniel, boy, didn't come on the flow. Yeah, but at the same time, this is the guy who's supposed to know the constitution in and out. This man presented us a plan for a president of a coalition to come in for 3 years instead of 5, honoring the constitution. Usainu Dabo is the only one in this realm, in this scene, who understands the constitution better than all of them. Because he's a constitutional lawyer. He's a constitutional lawyer. You don't the powers filmmaker, you have to understand that I've left Sobea. So
no, you can't left you push.
Yeah, dama lena chop. So filmmaker dengena so lena ñew di wax. So lena ñew di wax dengena ñew tenkum. Time mang si benen side bi. Usainu Dabo is the answer for Gambia. All these kids, all of these people, they in it for themselves.
No,
Damaduga Sobeya, I realize that I see Sobeya. And not all of Sobeya, and this is not a reflection on Esafal. But Dama realize that I see Sobeya. Sobeya didn't get for a long time, man, negotiate a guy fee, see platform coalition. No, you doing coalition a UDP. No, you doing Talib guy Lumuno defal. No, doing coalition a key. I'm like, you guys are like spoiled brats. You just came into the scene and you want all the ice lollies, all the lollipops, you want everything. That's not how it works. Oh, why guys you new defo coalition, soon select a new lead, then why guy do new lead? You don't have a base. You don't have a vehicle to move you. The people that have the vehicle are there. Talk to them kindly. Man, my dream coalition would be Esafal and Dabo. I've made that clear. But they are stubborn. Wow, then you buga gomlone, bena pati rek munta gene baro. No, it's the reality. And if you believe otherwise, you're fantasizing.
Shoe side.
You're not shoe side. I know what you're doing there. Facebook.
Man, now legal lollipop, why? Bunando who said, "Nera lollipop."
You know.
You think
no, para na bengen.
Well, man, dama am ben a question. Bala kenen dinyo. Hanga lawyer now, but the last time, how man momoko binawala is UDP generally, and then you publish on the was the International Teachers Day. That's a mistake, wala. So, like, we don't congratulate Guy and like literally just celebrating the teachers on International Teachers Day.
Well,
so Legi, my question is, what has changed? What are the guiding mistake? The mistake. What has changed? The fact Lusanze or
goes
no. The fact I lobu relate to that teacher strike.
The matter because teacher hamga.
Wow, congratulate. No, it's not that all the time you have to agree with every organization. You know, so at one point he didn't agree with them on the strike because the teachers were trying to be opportunists.
No, eh?
Yeah, my stance has changed. What's up?
No,
welcome to UDP, Steflon. Welcome to Yellow.
It was not a mistake. It was intentional. Okay.
Egal ngeen fi suma nemesis nak. Ñaka suma tay ñom ñaar ci suuf ma ngi leena gis nak. Ma nando bu séda bala ngeena ñu.
Yalla bana. Man nak way xalé yobu nañ ko baade ci comment section.
Nekkal di lebon lu pen rek.
Yalla bana. Wa nak keneen ñoo mëna fa ne ga dañ mistake sax wala
day lebon lu pen rek.
boy man duma fi debate anybody ko xamne partem for 39 years munta carré dara ko xamene partem amut 100 nit sa si parti bi at least ñun lum bon ñun coalition ne ñoo yeen pour mun leena ceñal régime lum bon biñ dératé benen élection ñew ne ñu tapat nomba si sen coalition bobu amé at least lum bon sen président bi si ñun la jëlé pour mun a togaat te ki ngeen a coow right now youth bi goes di coow si ñun la tibee ñëw soo ñun ñi ngeen am yëpp ñun ñoo leen jàngal.
bàyyi loolu waay gars yi dañ jël foot de dañ jël foot.
kon luy foot si réet foot du bronze sax bro.
ma ne waaw
foot rose nga dee am flowers nga dee am you get a bouquet.
man dama am loo bëgg a laaj Tef de.
yeah seriously when you come forth you get a bouquet.
waaw anyway na Gambian si wax ça va du Gambian.
no medal.
Well, Tef, man, what I say, first of all, the picture being is copyright protected. How am I the right to put online? That I'm low right be. Picture being picture be is copyright protected. So what just put in line.
No, picture be regular don't wahiri. Mane ko solen deme ñun duma len ngeen ñu laaj for help. They never have that. Be more symbolize for ngeen air pa bi suba su tel si mo wala sol bedroom slippers ñoo entraîner. Come on. Hamulen woon adresse am before election bi buñ ne na coalition leen ngeen toog ba election bi ñu baro furub farab leen ngeen ne waa nañ dem si pa bi cry wolf
mane sabla xaaral xam nga maa ngi waxoon ñoom great thinker démba mane guys they sleeping with the knife that will finally end them mooy Sobeya mooy rey
boy balal leen ma waay B52 bi na ko médoreeto yi génne man kii fu ma dem boy mu ñëw fa di waxi fu dof boy yow xanaa amuloo brain cell.
No, he needs that same B52 bim to the no. He needs that. You know what B52 means?
Can wait the US bomb.
No, B52 so ñëwee si lopitaan bi and your brain cells are not working. Yaa ngi nekk foofu noonu di disrupt. That's the cocktail of medication injection biñ la dee jox su ko defee nga dem nelaw. So he needs that B52.
I think he named himself after the US stealth fighter bomber.
Man, based on Teflon's announcement, I have a poem for him, man. I have a poem. I'm gonna that I'm gonna address with a poem. Teflon, do you want to hear my poem? It's gonna take 2 minutes.
Even if he doesn't want to hear it, he would listen at this point.
Gis nga dictatorship bi ma wasi so. Go ahead.
A nation deprived of basic amenities is like a body without a heartbeat, existing but not truly alive. Where clean water is scarce, disease becomes the language of the poor. Where electricity flickers like a dying candle, hope too begins to dim. When schools stand without books, hospitals without medicine, and roads without safety, development becomes a distant dream, spoken only in speeches and slogans. The youth have fled. The youth that ghost continues to shed light on have fled. Tired of waiting for promises that never came, they sail on perilous seas, chasing hope abroad, while the elders struggle to survive in silence. The villages grow quieter, their briders are gone, their strongest weary. And yet, the yellow camp that Teflon continues to sweep around continues to choose the same man for decades, as if loyalty were progress and blindness were faith. Such a nation watches its future vanish before its eyes. Its farmers till dry soil, its mothers walk miles for water, and its leaders feed the people with words instead of bread. The people adapt to hardships as though it were destiny, while corruption becomes culture. And Teflon still flickers like Nawek, and mediocrity wears the mask of leadership. Are you still flickering? But even in this darkness, their flickers are stubborn light, the will of the people to rise again. For true progress begins not in abundance of wealth, but in the awakening of conscience, when citizens demand better, when truth outweighs strife, and when leadership means service. Then, and only then, can a nation reborn find its pulse again. Stop the flickering. Thank you, Teflon. That's for you.
No. That's for the Gambian electorate, the Gambian voter. Because guess what? We have the right as UDP to choose our leader. The Gambian people prefer to be in the state they are in than to change, because I'm going to say it out loud. They don't want Usainu Dabo. And I'm not saying everybody. Other people genuinely have political issues why they don't like Usainu Dabo. They don't like UDP, maybe agenda-based and stuff. But the vast majority, it's this fear of an ethno-linguistic group. And for that reason here, I'm going to die on this hill with UDP.
Teflon, it will be much more easier if you come out and you drank the yellow Kool-Aid and you belong to a cult, and so they're gonna come hunt you. So it will be much easier if you tell us that than you talk of no
Mel, that's the problem. So when people say that they are down with UDP, we tend to say that they are cult. But when other people say that they are down with NPP, so they are DOI, we don't call them a cult. There's people who are with DOI. There's people who are with DOI for the past 100 years. DOI haven't moved an iota. Yet nobody says that's a cult.
Yena neka di gena si Facebook bi di orienté sen bopa UDP di orienté sen bopa cult again and again.
No. ñom ñi nekk UDP ñoo doon wax loolu. Xam nga man maa ngi door a bokk. You know?
This is a conversation about.
I have a gun.
Mune? Bul fi wax loolu de. Baal ñu rek. Yàlla baax na. Naka la waati.
Here, man, I am calling for a coalition between ESA and Dabo, and I don't think so. They are members that I associate with are calling for that same coalition.
Okay, no, why coalition? You never
That's what. No, powers. Come on now. This man I've been calling for this from day one.
A little baby boy. Coalition dafay nangu.
No, man that Gambia yëpp den d'accord ne coalition dafa war a am ñëpp d'accord, but this argument mooy ne so yow soo bëggee ngeen après my lead kon yow pare loo pour li nga def.
No, powers man li ma leen wax is very simple. Su Teflon ñëwee fii ne waaw soo leen bëggee coalition ak UDP mooy lead, that means nothing.
No. Okay, because now we're on the same page.
When Esa Fall sits down with lawyer Dabo, I believe na ñaar ñooñu gën a am problème Gambia. Lawyer moo ko mën a fix.
No, wait, Harold. Yow naka nga waxee coalition te nekkul di fa boole doy?
Boy, ñaan naa la boy ñun dañ bëgg a coalition ñoo xam ne mun nañoo indil dara yokkal ñu dara. Come on man, let's be realistic.
So hey, why yo doy ñoo fa sobe ya di sobe ya.
They don't even have a leader. We'll talk to the end of next month.
Hey, Harold. Boy has a cabinet.
No, why momentum be ESA Fall ñëwee for 2020 for 2026 is different from ESA Fall Mom Kena in 2021. Trust me.
It's not easy like that.
You know? No. I believe ne ESA is going to make inroads. The man I feel ne su fekkee Talib ñëwutoon ak this move am. ESA could have been the answer.
Well, now Talib is there. Talib is there, so now we cannot ignore Talib.
No, we're not going to ignore Talib. To ignore Talib is like just foolish. But what I am saying is, even if Talib's there, can Talib alone take it? No.
Talib alone cannot win, but we need people from Talib. We also need people from GDC.
Yes, but the answer is still, man, I still gum in my hearts of hearts is between ESA and Lawyer Dabo.
You dey wine?
No, come on. What other argument? Yo, come on. Yo, Talib ni ñami ñu ngi delluwaat UDP every day, boy.
Yeah, loolu na yang koy wara pour nga comfort pa.
No, I'm being serious, Umi. Then them fake for
No.
APRC Talib. And so with some of them that don't sit well. So they're going back. You know? I'm being realistic.
I'm going to Teflon. Manumako Gise, to make a true analysis of the situation. So to get the incumbent out, there are two scenarios. Talib, I don't even like to talk about Talib as a political party, even though that is his goal, but he hasn't, and I don't know if he will. I think Talib is just trying to test the waters, another litmus test. So it is about litmus test and litmus test. So from nekani su gisee na movement bi am na doole te mën naa test boppam. If not, he will try to create a party. But su gisee situation where mu gis ne movement bi is not that big, and he's not making waves in this political scenario. So he might give up. So I don't think I would want to give too much credit to him. He may kind of affect UDP, and he's creating a disruption in that scenario, which is very unfair to UDP. He's been very, very unfair to UDP. So I don't think somebody like that I would give a lot of attention to and credit.
He is not going to coalition with UDP. UDP will not allow that.
Now let me come. Just that being said, this is a Talib situation. I'm on Nanyam Bambas. Buga on Seattle. Meeting. I was on a live with Bambas and some of the other UDP members. There was not a guy exactly what I saw. And I'm guessing that is happening. You might understand. Sometimes you're privy to some information. Sometimes you just use your instincts to observe the situation. Why the fact of the matter is we have a lot of self-perpetuation in the Gambia. So ñun as Gambians, so we go choose the right person, then hire somebody based on their qualifications. Anybody couldn't for that. Even if they are too qualified, they can still go in there and do otherwise. That is true. Well, at least we would know that choose Nenki based on their qualifications. Why this charisma and populism is not going to take us out. Just said like, this guy is famous or he has some sort of a charisma, I'm pulling you out. But sometimes I don't know if we're using the head that thinks or it is the head that stinks that we're using. Why the fact of the matter is in the Gambia, here's the scenarios. You're also on a coalition lately. Dabo is strong. UDP's base is over 200,000. That's what they've been having all through the elections. So Talib you want to divide that base into half or maybe more quarters at least. Mom Nakala Momona win elections by himself. If Sober UDP with Dabo leading, because this is another UDP now. So if UDP with Dabo leading forms a coalition with Sobea and PDIS and GDC, which is very factual because GDC is the only party that can take from Barrow's base, Barrow's actual base. If these four parties come together, they don't even need Talib. They need Talib to run on his own because he's going to be the outlier. And they need that outlier to be able to win Barrow. Now, it's either they do this with Dabo or if Talib is able to create leverage. Otherwise, this is just going to be a matter of speculation. Well, if he's able to create enough leverage to go against Dabo, and one thing we've known, Dabo is very strong. He's able to keep his party. He is the heartbeat of his party. He kept it going. Even with all these changes, Barrow came, snatched from it. Talib is doing the same thing. All these people are using UDP as a springboard to get themselves to where they are. One thing you have to look at SFL. SFL didn't come to use anybody as a springboard. He's running his campaign based on facts. He's not speaking ill of anybody else. If you hear maybe his party members or people who claim to follow him speaking otherwise, this guy comes out. He's just a genuine Gambian like me and you, who is coming out, who is privy to the problems of the Gambia because he was at the front row seat where he saw exactly 22 years of authoritarian regime, what it did to our country. Mom gis na lolo at force. So feke yo yafa neko nga gis lolo yep. And you want to decide, okay, gis na all these things happening. And as a patriotic citizen, mabugan yo with a program, fine. Are people going to leave you there without criticizing? They will criticize you, of course. But that doesn't mean join a party, use it as a springboard, become famous as a result. Then you're going to stand up on your own. Bro, that is political prostitution. I don't think it's fair. And then I respect the guy. I think he's a young Gambian Kohana. You know, he wants to do what he wants to do for his country. He served his nation as a mayor. Great job. Well, let's call a spade a spade. Whether he's going to make a difference? No. He probably will not make any difference. Well, if everybody comes together and form a coalition and let him lead, good for him. Is that likely? No. So man, no one gets more. Your phone here. Let's be very, very truthful here and be very honest with ourselves. Dabo will not be able to win Barrow by himself as UDP. Nor will SFR. Can a single party win? Until now, it's not possible. Until now, with Talib causing the breakage, it makes that very, very impossible. So when Talib stayed with Dabo, he had a better chance. Everybody knows that. Why the guy has created a serious outlier, he has disrupted the whole system, he broke the opposition, and he divided the nation. And that person you expect is going to unite us again and bring us all together? Look what happened here today. This is a good sign. One could learn from this and say, look, when we start speaking about this person, does it bring us together or does it divide us? And do you think our country will grow because we are divided? We can never make it divided. We have to unite, bro. But how are we going to unite? Who is uniting us right now?
Nobody.
Bro, nobody is uniting us. So that's why we have all this political pluralism. That's why everybody is coming out. But as far as I know, SFR came out here and he spoke, and all of you guys chicken out. The guy came here. He was even looking for you guys. Where are those keyboard warriors? Come and ask questions. And I didn't see any single of you there asking questions. You all chicken out, including you, Tefla. I was very shocked and surprised.
What, I chickened out?
Everybody laughed. The guy was here on TikTok for 4 hours.
We have
You
lives
come to
here.
ask him a question?
We
You
lives.
didn't.
We have lives here. We're not going to be saying
No,
for
Buron
two.
Baba la, Buron Baba la,
No, I
No,
understand you
even
have
with
lives.
Baba,
I'm
I
not
was
pushing you.
there for less than 30 minutes. To be
Money.
serious,
Yeah.
ask Joby, he'll tell you that.
Money.
Okay.
But if we look at the system right now, all these people running, let's call a spade. Bro, you cannot look at Esafal and taint him with anything. You cannot question his credibility or his resume and education. Yeah, he hasn't served the Gambia politically as a political leader.
But
Nor
hold
was
on
he
a
a
second.
mayor.
Hold on a second.
Def, you're getting
I am not dissing Esafal. I've never. Hold on, Baba El Para. I've never dissed
No,
Esa.
I'm speaking
And
generally.
I've
I'm not
told you for
addressing
many a months, I support his candidacy. But I don't think he can do it alone. I think he needs
but
UDP. UDP needs him. That's what I believe.
No, why man lolu nangul na la ko di tef. Hana kan mo la nangul lolu.
No, but so I don't understand.
Yen
Yeah, bobu
moderators yi
nangul
nga
na la
xam
ko.
ne xamul leen seen bopp kan si yéen moo mute anti looli
Kuy anti lolu kan mo ko mi?
Can I commute?
Ah, demande.
Teflon moo ko mute.
Boy, until
I heard your question and I will respond to your question. I heard your question. I will respond to your question. However, the money that Talib was giving away, Momsi Bopa, he was doing that in the capacity of his mayorship. Johoko, as the movement, Monica de J. Harris. It was in the capacity of mayorship from Mekanono. Because Wahona after commission.
So do you see any innovative young leader in this world that is going around displaying that amount of cash in any capacity? Ban young leader
He gave other people. He gave other people checks as well. Just so you know that. And now,
ban young leader ko innovative. Ñun mi nga xamne we don't want corruption. We do not want all this display of cash.
you can only Gambia, in order to move Gambia from from point A to point B, you have to start with the reality that Gambia is on. It's like saying the library amunjering when feka Gambia, you cannot give people tablets and iPhones and so forth when they don't even have electricity, and those parents don't even have money to buy this thing. Before you have the library online, you have to start somewhere. And in these Western countries that we are speaking of, China is the most innovative country in the last 3 decades. But China still builds huge libraries where people go and educate themselves and innovate. So library is something that evolves with every civilization.
Mel, please,
China versus Gambia.
China, what is the level of productivity?
Please.
What is the level of productivity when you compare China to Gambia? When you use that library example, the level of productivity.
Question important.
No.
No, Ghost, you want to answer question because it's very important.
Ghost, answer my question, Bobo. No, I want to hear at least man that could convince me. What is Talib's agenda? What is Talib's project for Gambia?
I don't know what is his project for Gambia because he hasn't outlined all his projects for Gambia yet. Is he? Has he?
Oh no!
I'm asking you. You
Talib
hasn't outlined all his projects for Gambia. And I made it very clear when I spoke about Talib here. I don't know why you're asking that question because
no. Bulmawa is irrelevant because your hamga lumalalete. The reason why I will give you the reason why I asked because you keep telling us all these political parties then bought to Ganao Talib. Yes, that's your opinion, and I respect that. That's what you want. You are in for Talib because he is young. So, man, the reason, with everything that you've been saying here over the years, especially with Ni Orient Iki, because international lawyer or lawyer Dabala because he halna dekabi or ki motangin ko support. Yo legi to tell me one agenda of Talib, Bohamne, Mola convince. Other than the age, munla mawa agenda, Talib's agenda, bula convince ne, lila amal Gambia. So you are just looking at the age and that's enough for you. Is that what you're telling us?
And that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate.
Can I respond now?
No. Well, you can go on.
It sounded like a question.
Yeah, it's a question.
Oh, there you go. So since this conversation began yesterday, and we made it very clear, when Talib came, he declared that he has intention of running for head of state. He hasn't put, his platform rather, hasn't put forward all his agendas. And I said, what I said yesterday is what I will repeat again. Talib's involvement in this, especially a person who's been given 2 mandates by the people, and also a younger person, I am saying I would support Talib candidates to be the disruptor that we needed to destroy the political culture that is in the Gambia. In fact, championed by all people.
Okay. I have a follow-up. I have a follow-up question. Okay, the reason, according to what you just said, is because Talib has been given 2 mandates by the people of Serekunda or KMC. So Lulu convinced Nalane he's doing the right thing.
I never said that. I have never said that Talib
what did you say? Okay, correct me.
Because the people of KMC have spoken clearly. If Talib hasn't done the right thing, they would have not given him the second mandate. They gave him a second mandate to serve their interests. To me, the people of KMC have spoken. Talib coming with again, Talib coming into play in the whole political game with a mandate that's given to him by the people of KMC. And being a young person, I am hopeful that Talib is going to be more innovative than these so-called old people. Because since the beginning, I have an issue with older people. And that's why I have been calling for young people to come out
and take what belongs to them. And if Talib is coming out and saying, hey, you know what, I'm young, I say, come in. Destroy the political dynasty that is there. Let all these old people go to retirement by and force. And that's it.
Okay. So your only problem you have right now, according to what you say, okay, Talib can destroy the political dynasty, which is fine. That's okay. But with everything that you've been saying here, Ghost, man mayo hamontenin fini. You've been saying a lot on things that these people are doing. Yesterday you are talking about the people of KMC. The people of Gambia gave Adama Barrow 2 mandates. 2 double mandate Lenkwajo, Adama Barrow. So why would you, Adama Barrow, that same Adama Barrow, Mungfa, Momoneka, the head of state, to the people of KMC, which is in the Gambia be yep, bem daj, nu jox Adama Barrow 2 mandates.
Exactly.
So
if that's his yardstick.
No, let me. No, because I'm not did not contribute. Yo, man, pull man, that's your excuse. Why? That's not good enough excuse, pull man. Man, dama fuck na your tail, and I joke na man a Talib. Being a young person, you know, with this project your hamne, didn't change Gambia, didn't change the political dimension of the Gambia. From what we have been used to from 1965 to this, Lila Modef, youth let la mo nega, te the foundation of youth, things like that. You know, one man, Lila Bugadef ugly, then go so you think at how, and plus, he's young, I can relate to him. That should be an added advantage on his side. That people will understand. Why you gonna
I cannot preempt Talib's agendas. When Talib releases his agendas, we will come back here again because currently what we are discussing is not the agendas of Talib. Because you don't know them, I don't know them, Bapulo doesn't. So what we are discussing right here is the momentum that Talib has. The discussion, the whole discussion here is the momentum that Talib has. It's not about the projects he is putting across Gambia. This is what I have for you. Then the discussion would have been centered around that. So I don't know why you're talking about something that I cannot preempt. I have no clue about.
No. I'll give you another example. Talib, in his intent, in his statement of intent, he highlighted few things. And there was nothing new, absolutely nothing new. Lo hamne Talib wax nako. Lo hamne ñun musuñ ko dégga fini. He made a statement of intent. Pull from movement BD and the reasons why. So those are the reasons. Man, yet Talib, unless mu isi lo hamne project bo hamne, diga, just now this is gonna be transformational. Dina change lu bari. Man ma moms bopa. Suma feeling lulu moma gonna suit. I will consider where I am. Why? Until then, Talib neko fi te man expect uma yo.
When Esafal first ran for office, when Esafal first ran for office, what was it that he was putting across?
Man, I wasn't even supporting Esafal.
Thank you very much.
I didn't know what
there you go. In fact, he didn't even have a proper platform that he put across. No. That is what he has to offer for Gambia.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's not my problem.
There you go. So the fact
that's not my problem.
Unless we give Talib the opportunity to come out, when it's time,
Talib from the equation.
When it's time for Talib to release, when it's time for Talib to release,
as of now, you are a blind supporter because Hamula okay, Talib Sunye project Gambia. Tell you Andulo project boom is enough.
When I will come back here, I will say I don't agree with this part of the project.
No, you
serious because I care less.
He's the youngest.
That's the thing with me. That's the thing with me. I don't follow people just because I say, oh, okay, so Talib is young. Talib is young. Right, so that being said, Talib of this project. So I'm just going to be deluded and come here and say, oh, the project is actually good when I know it's not good. No.
But that's what you're doing right now.
Okay.
Man,
If Talib has a project, if Talib has a project,
guys,
Talib
gentlemen,
has a
gentlemen,
project,
can we
and he
move
put
on?
it
Can
forward,
we
and he
move on?
said,
Can we move on? Echo.
yeah, we can move.
Okay, carry on.
No. Let's move on because this is not gonna go anywhere. Lini do dem fen, and I think it's really goes. I'm kind of sort of disappointed, but we will turn you wasi why let's move on. Let's move on.
Talib has something that he put forward. Talib has something that he put forward that I don't agree with. Come back here and I will say, okay? Now, no, dafa am leneen li nga xam ne dañ ko wax and I have to make it clear. Dinaa leen may ngeen wax suma pare. Dama respect Adama Barrow si leena, and I always emphasize that here. I don't care politically, opposition, you make the support and parties. I don't care how angry you get or upset you get. Adama Barrow need to be respected for the fact that he came 2016, he was given a mandate by Gambians. It was not aliens, it was not Jeans, it was nobody but Gambians. He came back 2021, he requested, and Gambians decided to give him the opportunity to serve them again. So Adama Barrow is not an enemy of Gambians. He is serving the mandate that's given to him by Gambians. And every time I come here, I may criticize some of the things that he's doing wrong, but I will not disrespect the fact that the mandate he has is given to him by Gambians. So for you to say, well, I never disrespect the mandate that Gambians have given Adama Barrow. And until today, I will stand there. The same thing as well. I'm saying
no.
The people of KMC give Talib a mandate, and I respect that. The same thing applies to Adama Barrow.
No, I never said that you disrespected Adama Barrow. Man, lumala don't want no ne hamnala. More nekane, you talk based on policies, ideas. Why the fuck that this time you are not talking based on policies and ideas?
Because the man hasn't put forward his policies yet. Do you know what his policies are?
Man goes bumaham. Dafa ñeka deglu. Lu Talib wax ñeka lan la amal dekali. Bala moy jom. Man lool la xam ci gos.
And I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it. I'm a Talib supporter.
Guys, but please, we are appealing now. We are appealing, please.
Lu leer mooy in life xaaral même ñoo foofu noonu lu leer mooy bi su ñoo wax cause indi fi age Talib dafa young person la ñoom Essa Faye ñoom Lawyer Darboe ñoom
dafa am lu ma la bëgg a ñaan balaa ngay dem si kanam.
No, ba ñëw foofu rek dama war a
dama bëgg nga wax rek without addressing ghost because su dul dafa back and forth bi dafa ñëwaat please.
Non cause si loolu lañ nekk moo tax te nga hypocrisy bi dañ ko war a leeral yow su dee moom depuis bi ñu fi nekkee last couple years yëpp su ñoo wax he has benn line la day waxee te nga ñëw because of mbiri Talib la nga bëgg a soppi doxin loolu dafa am leneen lu moo niru te I think we are all witnessing it here right now. Anyways, xaaral ma julli ma ñëw.
Amadou non boo ma ooyee naa fay ba pare nga ne yaa ngi dem julli loolu du benn dëgg loolu wax ni du benn dëgg because you're my sos. That's not true. I have been consistent with the age. I don't care who it is. I have said it. Hussein Dabo, he may run, yes, he may be the UDP, whatever, but I don't like him because I believe he's old. I don't care. I never change. I never waver. So for you to come here and accuse me of hypocrisy or changing my stance is ridiculous. And you're lying.
Okay. Ghost. What do forget about all these politicians right now? Okay.
No.
What do you want to see? Langa buga gis in Gambia.
A future that is held by young people. That's it. I've said that several times. I want a Gambia that is run by young people and run their own destiny, not by old people. That's it for me. I've said it and I'm going to say it again.
Ghost, at some point you are going to get old. Ghost, at some point you are going to get old and you would have so much wisdom and so much experience to bring to the table. Your dangabuga you cancel just because of your age and not because of the substance that you have to bring to a country?
I will write papers, I will write memoirs, but I'm not going to go and fight tooth and nail with young people on their destiny. I can advise them. I will write papers.
People
I will
are
write
not the only
my
people
political opinions. I will comment. I will make my comments, but I'm not going to sit and say I goes,
No one is
I
going
am
to take
running
your
for
political
office at
opinion
age
because
65.
you're old.
I'm not going to do it.
Okay.
No
I'm
one
not
is
going to
going
do
to
that.
take your political
Let's just give it
opinion
to him.
because
Let's
you're
just give
old.
it to him as
Yeah,
his own
exactly.
opinion. Let's just give it
I
to
agree.
him.
I'll take that.
So brother
I'll take
Brother
that.
Hiri, you're
No, in life,
Man,
like
I don't
here
even
you know. Yeah.
understand. I don't
Yeah.
even understand what we're talking about because xam nga su ñëwee fii ku nekk dafa am on xalaatam ak gom-gomam. So I don't think ne man naa fi bugg a ñëw pour nit change suma xalaat o lu ma gom. So su ma ko waxee dangaa déglu rek yow tamit nga wax loo gom. Why, if we go back and forth, that's not gonna make me go like, okay, I agree with you or I accept what you're gonna say. So that doesn't help anybody. It just makes the environment very much more toxic. Why, if we wanna have specific debates based on people's beliefs and what they really think that's what they believe in, then we can organize a debate for two people to come in and just debate over things. Why need Kisua here idea, mom lola gum, kenen tame walum gum, let's just move on because it's a multi-panel platform. You know, Gambia never need changes. We all know that. Why we all gonna have our different views as to how that changes must occur. So this is a multi-party system from Nekani. It's because people have different views as to how the change must occur. Other people think it has to be a coalition. Other people think we have to believe in agendas. So folk na kuneka so finyewe dal yodanga wax lo gom rek kenen tamit wax dun gom. Why man hamna ne nit ki in politics. If you want to run for office and you have an agenda and you have a political party, then and people are going to judge you based on your agenda. Why you want to be a president? Why do you think you can fix our problem? Gambian problem is not a hidden issue. Every Gambian knows what our issue is. Ñun ay ñuule la ñoo xam ne ñu ngi amee suñu dëkk moomuñ dara ci. Ba pare dara nekkul dañu njëriñ. Are we going to continue to live like that? To struggle to go backward? To do whatever it takes? To go abroad? Man, sometimes it's very sad. Why need to fix Gambia fee? It's not about an idea of man, I'm a conservative or man, I'm a Republican or I'm a Democrat or I'm a liberal. It's about who is going to put food on the table. Who's going to fix our roads? Who's going to make sure that you have good schools and good healthcare? These are fundamental issues. Basic amenities is missing. So why in politics, if you come to run with a record, people are going to look at your record and say, what did you do? Why, I think the trivial issues like this guy is young, this guy is old, it's just individual opinion. And I'm not even going to argue with somebody on that opinion. You can say that, okay, it's because of age, it's because of this. And somebody else can tell you, and there is no evidence of it, obviously. So, man, lumay ñaan nit ñi daal nañ ñëw rek ku nekk your logo, sell your agenda, your logo, so fake a coalition logo, just talk about that. Why, if we keep going back and forth, it's going to be very unproductive and very toxic for ourselves and our health. Thank you very much.
Harry, I believe in something. Gis nga education without integrity, that person, you can call that person a criminal. And I believe ne ñun mi tok fi ni yep ken buguta gena ken genuta buga Gambia morom bi ken genuta buga Gambia sa morom, yeah, ken genuta buga Gambia sa morom. Ñun ñep we equally love Gambia. Why bu fekkee ne we are going to sit here and with all the problems and the challenges that we face in that country as a nation, ñun ko yuhu. The reason lu tax ñun ñu tok fi ni ñun ñu nekk ci diaspora bi, although we are not the people that select the president, ñun dañ dee tok fi ni dañ dee coow ñi nga xam ne ñu ngee vote ñoom génnuñ, they are not exposed. Maybe they do not understand what development is. Maybe they do not understand lan mooy governance ak fan la suñ xaalis bi day jóge. Maybe they do not understand the level of corruption bi nga xam ne moom moo nekk ci dëkk bi. So fogoon naa ne we would sit here and argue about integrity. We would sit here and argue about yeneen, argue for a fair healthcare system, argue for inflation back, for us to want Gambia to be an industrialized nation. While ñu ngi talk fii nii And then we're going to oh, okay, kini atambini lila, or the kini lila, or the kilelele. No. Man, I took it personal because Ghost man hamnane, yo, days inga hamne, since bimala hame si TikTok bini. You argue for honesty. You argue for lack of corruption mugenes Gambia again and again. So you tay, and then you flip the script, and maybe unintentionally you flip the script. Ngane okay, nenko jockey because you can relate to that, and I understand it's your opinion. I'm not arguing with your opinion. So mandama understand on what basis? Because you're fucking he's gonna be more fair, he's gonna be this, he's gonna be that. Man, you don't have an argument here. Respectfully, you do not. Because Gambia, when you use Gambia, our country, they play chess. We want the old way of politics pour mu génn, and when I say the old way, I'm not cancelling the old past and all that. Bahuma payi ne buñ fa neka. Oh, understand na ne buga nga payi pour ñu jël back seat bi. But what are we doing? What are we doing? So ñëwee tey nga flip script bi, of course man ak Echo and the likes of other people ñi nga xam ne yaaga nañ laa déglu nga intelligently deliberate, dañoo wax ne you have flipped the script. So boobu noonu tamit nangul ñu pare ñun tamit ñu move on.
Yeah, so here is the thing. Man, fogum mota man this notion of ne hamga pai dañu wala randu xale yi ñew. After all, let's look at our governance system in the first place. Ñi nga xamantene sa ñoo wara def all these changes. They are all young. None of them is a par. Now, let's look at the Minister of Health, for example. Dr. Samata is not an old man. Dr. Ismaila Cisse is not an old man. Minister of Information. The Minister of Works and Infrastructure, Ibrahim Silla, he is not old. You can list them. You go to our parliament. They are all young. Literally, they are all young people. I don't know much about our judiciary, but as far as the executive and the legislative is concerned, these people are all young. Man, how much young people like Bugawat? How much? So if we have young people in the system and they cannot change the system for us, but we are still here crying for young people again, what are we really talking about? Manly, I just cannot put my head around this. Do I want to understand?
Jërëjëf Bamba sa nuyu naa leen yéen ñëpp waaye si waxtaan bi it's heated up tey moom suma boy bi mënuma understand goes man sa suma boppa li ma mën a try to ñun ñëpp ñu bàyyi si xel rek moo nekk ne it's discrimination pour di wax ne someone is young, someone is old. We need to be very careful with that. It sounds really hypocritical if we are going to be saying someone is young, someone is old, and this one is black or whatever. Then you get Gambia, then you want to make sure that you gain. Those are one of the characteristics of discrimination. Okay, so let's forget about that. Kumak defnafindam Abdoulaye Wade ñewna defonnandam in Senegal. Right now, Cameroonians are crying. Paul Biya is not doing great. So you can say Kumak defnafi, Kundaw defnafi. Legi dinañ ko nangul goos na mom tamit he would rather Talib Modem because of Lulu, because of his age. But as I'm limoko don deglo mom, it's not based on policies. And I just, without repeating Lee explain don wax rek ne mom, he was a man of policies, principles, and he always tried to preach that to everyone. Suma boy be tay mom dal moy lolu. Why lima gëna wax man lima gëna worried about mo nek ne. And in our country, I think there is a problem of laws, even to the grassroots level. Political parties amuñ luwas yo xamne dinañ fa tek an individual ne okay, certain criteria. Lolu mo nek a problem in Gambia right now. It doesn't matter what the age of the person is, how old they are, what they do. What can they do for their community? Proven by the records. If I was to go by our records so far, I would not even approve Talib. Because some of the unearthing of commission right now, it's unfortunately, Lulu, a young person is going to go through all of that. How did he get caught out in all of this? Because people were getting employed and being told you're coming into work without even, receiving their letters or going through the proper channel. And, the conflict of interest in, mom having, other things it's prudent. as a young person, it doesn't matter who the person is. As long as the person can bring something to the table. Fokna lulu lañ wara muna waxtane without saying the age, whatever the person, how old they are, luñ muna def or whatever. But man I'm not a fan of that. Law si ñoo wara door di change. Si political party si ñu dooree ko from the grassroots level. Then we start coming up. Until we have that, Gambia, we will be going round this roundabout over and over again. Duñ ko mëna def because duñ mëna, for example, duñ mëna attack Adama Barrow tey ñu ne 2-term limit daf ko wara def. Te ñun we don't have that in the law. He will use the law and whip us, and all of us will go and sit back down and keep quiet because luwa yi changing ko. Fuñ wara xeex moo nekk luwa yi. Nañ ko start si grassroots yi, party si. You stand by it, stick with it. It doesn't matter who the person is there. So they made 2-term, you start from the parties, then the next person comes up. And it needs to go that way. Lolande amanfima nekani. Expiller can, affirm that with me as well. Danga am 2-term, 1-term, so large for government, and you did not succeed, you're gone. You're not even going to sit there for 2 terms. So neke in power, you're in government, then you go for 2-term. Why? Until and unless you change the laws, dañoo nekk di yuuxu fii rek di wane kii mag na kii lifin te dañ ko war a bàyyi xel because ñun ñu ne ñu ngi daaxa discrimination ñun ñu ne bëgguñ kenn kuy wax ne soose lii la wala pul lii la wala olof lii la aku njaago whatever waaye ñu ngi nii ñu ngi argue on some of the characteristics of discrimination ma bàyyi rek keneen tam mu dem bu ma bañ a mel ni expila gos jërë ngeen jëf.
I mean, since this is my turn again, and I feel like nothing forward here.
Dafa am lu ma doon wax after mu jox ko continue mo
Saya daga harang yo waxon nga waxal fi la everyone addressed me. I have to respond to that.
It was cut short. Harama ware. Like lu ma bëgg a wax mooy ma doon su ma daanee foofu laay continue. Gis nga yow dëgga I respect your opinion a lot. Comme su ñëwee fii ñëpp su nekkee benn boor yow da ngaa bëgg a nekkee benn boor and usually opinions si are well informed dang dee wax nga base ko si loo xam ne ñu bari nañ si buna d'accord even though maybe your delivery mun nañoo question boobu noonu hey and all these days depuis mbiri Talib bi lu mu génne your stance on it it's not rooted on anything na sànna because su ñoo wax ne comme lépp lañ bëgg mu nekk yow nga ne a young person nga bëgg mu jiite what they call based on something. Talib, I'm not track record. Nasanya. Let's say in KMC. But track record bo no, that bound all about. Lala yo one transformative agenda. Lipit Talib toge in 2018 bete. Len mun upon unit Talib more fi def this, more fi andi this type of agenda bo hamne. Na this impact in KMC. But lan negative right now. The things that we are seeing evidently more. Aglu negative fancy commission. More, there's a lot of mismanagement. Na a lot of funds in hamne hamun muning ko track muning ko accuse na mo ko sa tere why we cannot track ne Harris bi fila jar na sana then 3.1 million grant for hamne it was supposed to be euro for balit apparently waste management na sana this bobu no fala jar they haven't provided enough documentation we prove ne Harris bi fi ak fi len ko dugal na sana and the more commission bi ngi unfold the more you realize ne wax nañ juñ daaj am na de waaye am na lu leen dem ana sànga koo xam ne nag andi ko transformative agenda waaye am na lu bari li nga xam ne leen dem na si track record am man mënuma understand yow naka nga mën a ñëwee nga justify na kooku war nañ ko mën a sànneel because lan lam ñoo mën a andil ñun so far luñ fi gisaale gisuñ fi dara loo xam ne convince nañu mën a sànga mun ngaa wax ne waa dëgg la your whole defense wooy waa KMC voted him twice. Why KMC voted him twice doesn't mean he's doing the right thing. Yo, finya halate, and the majority of KMC finya halate, warna pass for funono. Because your teji, am nga exposure bo hamne, am nga halat, ak am nga gis bo hamne. Ñu bari ñu nekk KMC, ñu dika KMC te amuñ ko. So yo, bu dee comme ñooñu, based on Talib track record mu am noonu, ñu ngi support Talib si lim defal. Yo nga am exposure bi, we expected more from you, but you're still supporting them. Yo guy ñi yëpp tanere. Because Talib dafa lu ñu fi dara loo xam ne ñun mën nañ koo gis rasanga so sa wax boobu noonu moom I don't think teg am nga fenn noo ko mun a justify and boor boobu noonu moom I'm very disappointed ne comme you're still trying to defend opinion boobu noonu te teguloo ko fenn explain that explain that fi persona. The same justification Boden can use for Adam for Talib. Mo indi la reference for Adam Barrow. But you've been criticizing Adam Barrow for the past years. Why are you not using the same yardstick for Talib? So sa bidal it's very inconsistent based on Ningdan Wahe. So man affaire sinal daf ma jahal. So are you bugan na nga leralan ñu bu baax whether you are supporting Talib fully legi despite all the mishaps you happen in his tenure wala nu fa demee am na lu fa leen dem daal bugan na nga leralan ñu ko.
It's in life more or less.
Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Right, man. Li ma doon jéem a try pour come up rek moom mooy we only got 1 year benn at rek lañ dese te man li ma nekk di gis ci TikTok bi still Gambian si I mean like mee ko gun suñ mind de ba pare ñu ngi gis the truth but still ñu ngi ko ignore and from out of the blues everybody's talking about Talib because young people the young people in Gambia am na si xale yu bari yoo xam ne xamaguñ lan mooy life they only want to survive and Marty Talib bi I think first thing nu war a concentrate moom mooy lim start mu jekkali ko be my first time in my whole entire life ma gis KMC ñu transparent a little bit of xaalis bi fa génna waaye ñun liñ musa xam yëpp when it comes to taxi Gambia ñoom ñoo ko dee lekka muy KMC biir Gambia fanaa BCC rek tane a little bit waaye si kaw loolu sax ñun dañ daan feeren léegi-léeg nga dumoo yu sax at yi demuloo fay ko waaye si kaw loolu am na koy ku la wax ne la xam nga léegi naka la yow jox ma lii rek nga xaarango so that corrupt thingy mi ngi in KMC all along and all these ñi collection taxi because soo ko seetla ba sa xaalis si Gambia bi almost like 50 to 60% is coming out from KMC because of tax bi yëpp foofu la di nekk di jaaykati kong yee géeja yee bisaab sa soo ko jaay sa dañ laa tax léegi ñooñu marché bi sax du dee set fu ñoo defal ñu ngi collègue maire yëpp di leen daxal si kaw tali yi ba pare defaroon gaa yi marché sax still boo xam ne gaa yi foofu la ñu mun a dem léegi out of the blues kooku lañ bëgg a jël from 1 to 10 yóbbu ko ba président te ñu ngi am koo xam ne mu ngi wax ñun all along di ñu jéem a wax ne lii ak lii moo nekk si dikka bi lii ak lii ak nekk si dikka but we all acting like we don't even care ku nekk ak sa noonu la life demee ku nekk ak sa own bugga la ku nekk sa opinion waaye fanaa suñ xol yi su nekkee benn then dinañ mun a am changes de because of at rek lañ am this Talib me out of the blues he just wanted to be a president and then so for how Gambians yi ñu ko nekk di ko consider te ñu ngi dégg ñu ngi wax ne setut si lii ñu bëgg a jël kooku def ko président this thing is gonna te moom li mu wax bi mu ñëwee lan la wax bi moo taxaw KMC mi ne li routine bi mu fa fekk loolu la moo continuer waat so that means ki su waree nekk président da routine yaay Jammeh be Barrow be ak UDP bi la moo continuer rek there will be no changes ñun ñu nekk si outside bi suñ ñibsee war see gën a sofa te ñu ne la all of the wax mi ne xeer du yaaga si géej ba nekk jën that means someday we will all want to go home dëgg la Gambia ñi nekk on the board ñoom ñooy mun a vote waaye ñun mi nekk outside ñun ñoo war a encouraging family one leen the differences because of fu mu nekk nii generation bi right now xaarul kenn and ñun we are 100 years way back and then every time su ñoo wax ñu ngi ko compare ak European system bi du musa dem ñun aganguñ sa Sénégal sa suñ néebo bi sax pour compete kuku balaa ñoo war a naan dañoo ñëw yugo si lan jaar all the miles yooyu ba fële si Europe ñun la ñu wala consider la pour ñu fa sang am rule boobu man I feel ne this is very sad ama may keneen mu waangu
waa léegi jërëjëf hence in half of you ñu wax yëpp ba mu des in life ak xéen wax ngeen ba jiiñ ma ne hypocrisy X, Y, and Z, my stance X, Y, and Z. Waaw suma boy bi tey dafa lifin pour ma leeral leen benn affaire su dee man seen boy la wala seen lii la do not disrespect me by insulting my intelligence and insulting me ne I am being hypocritical when all I have said is clear and has nothing to do with being hypocritical because I care less about your feelings in the first place. I want to make that clear. And secondly, for what I have said about Talib, since the conversation today is not about Talib's agenda that he's putting forward, as in Talib does not have a manifesto that he announced, this is what I have to offer the Gambians if you give me the chance 2026. I cannot preempt li nga xam ne loolu la bëgg a joxe waaye lu ma wóor ba wóor te fu ma taxaw te dinaa fa taxaw ba tey mooy ne xam naa ne ndaw génn na ndaw bi nga xam ne dafa dem mu laaj réew mi sorry mu laaj municipality ñooñu ñu nangul ko ñu jox ko du benn waaye ñaari yoon man duma ñëw ma toog fii man what Talib gave to the people of KMC is not enough because I live in Western world. I've seen something else. Insulting the intelligence of Gambians and insulting the intelligence of KMC. ñoom la neex ñu jël seen carte. I cannot elect Talib because I don't live in KMC and I haven't voted for Talib. Nyanjai egon nafi momu ne KMC la dëkk. Nyanjai gave mom his assessment about Talib because he lived there, he lived the reality of the people of KMC. So the fact that Nyanjai nyona fi mu wax mom lu wax the assessment, I think that is fair for Talib because mom, that is the reality he lives. To me, mom munuma ñëw di attest that reality because I don't live there and I haven't voted for him. So you're asking the wrong person to tell you Lala Talib death. Why luma la muna answer moine lu Talib death. The people of KMC have that answer because they voted for him not once but twice. Legi, yem sen politician bi lan la defal doomi Gambia ni what track record does SFL have other than, oh, this is my policy. If I come into office, this is what I will offer you. What has SFL ever offered to the ordinary Gambian people that Talib hasn't offered? Now you want to compare and contrast. Since majority of you that are here, you are supporting SFL and his agenda. What has SFL of Sobeya offered to the Gambian people? In fact, even one village in Gambia, talk less of a whole municipality. What is it? Absolutely nothing. Politically. The name man suma waxe ba pare yow nga wax comme numa len deglu yeen yep with respect. Absolutely nothing. The only argument you guys have is that SFL musona nek lawyer, SFL musona nek li, SFL mu ne suñu dafa xé corruption, SFL mu ne suñu dafa def li. Talib mun na tok ci office am bi mu ne lan man dañ ma jox mandate pour ma liggéeyal nit ñi su ma liggéey bu ma doon liggéey lii ak lii laa defal. And I'm pretty sure there's going to be one or two people, in fact not even one or two people, because the results spoke for itself. From the first term to the second term election, it spoke for itself. He won clearly. The incumbent pumped a lot of money to make sure he's not going to win the election, but he still won. Na malaika yako sana karta. Jine yako sana karta, did it? The people of KMC voted for him. So I respect them for that. I respect them. Te hamnane sudda dara. Kon nundi ko do sani karta. The other argument is why this law make on TRRC. Okay. Man ma am suma liggéey toog liggéey ba pare ma ñëw ma ne waa Gambia votal leen ma because man maa amee seen destiny I have your destiny so le ma votalee lii laa leen lii laay defar ak ki nga xam ne moom mu ne man boo leen ma votalee lii ak lii laa def man am not team Talib am not in I still remain kuma nekkoon depuis démb ba tey I'm not team Talib I'm not this thing but if I was to vote today ma taxaw ñu joxe box mu ngi ni ñu ne Essa Faal mu ngi ni Ousainou Darboe mu ngi ni Adama Barrow mu ngi ni Talib mu ngi ni bil daa wala talaya ma ko dugal si Talib te fu ma ko wéer I will go back to it again mooy ne man si man laa wax de Talib mooy ndaw the energy the resourcefulness bi nga xam ne Talib boobu la moo andi Ousainou Darboe du ko andi Adama Barrow du ko andi man suma gis-gis so man suma vote dama dugal si box si Talib ma am yaakaar ne Talib mooy ndaw comme man te moom la moo andi ba énergie la moo andi man loolu dinaa ko def so ñu des nag ñoo xam su la neexee yéen ngeen sànnil karta keneen that's the beauty of democracy.
Probablement de yow Talib xale la noonu ak biram boobu noonu kooku dafa yomb.
waaye su fekkee ne ñëw nañ fii nii nag bu ko disrespect nit ñi di orienté ay tur ay yu kenn xamut I'm not gonna take any form of disrespect from anybody because man suma opinion fu ma taxaw foofu lay taxaw ba tey réew mi dafa am lu ko yaaxa te man fu ma ko wéer mooy ne paa yi bokk nañ ci yaaxa réew mi I don't care ndax démba Yaya Jammeh xale la woon 6 years la amoon Jawara 2 years la amoon I don't care that's not my era I don't know anything of that man tey laa nekk man tey niti tey la so foofu laa taxaw ndawi tey ñoo war a jël réew mi ñu nangul ko seen boppa ñu liggéey pour defar réew mi waaye the only way réew bi mun a dem kanam dafa fekk ndaw yi ñu nekk si kanam waaw man loolu laa gëm te foofu laa taxaw ba tey te kuy ndaw si ñi yëpp mooy Talib ak the cut from the other movement and so forward and if all of them come together and said you know what we want to go and Talib said ndaw bii nii lay toppa kii nii the same c'est la même chose the same thing I'm going to say so with all due respect I'm not going to sit here just because you don't agree with my view of things but I'm not discriminating against any living if you call me ageism yes of course I have the money mate ma wako man suma papa su nekkoon 60 years tey
golden era nga war a dem he is much younger than Talib
so ema ngum foofu noonu keneen moo and that's it
yow golden era nga war a dem kooku moo gën a young Talib
yow Talib mooy young boy bi noonu yow young boy dina toog a biiram boobu noonu lekk si bakaaje domodaay
no sorry can we not attack can we not attack the way he
just have a conversation
well this is like he's not a young boy when we're talking about young boy you need to act like physically to move a country that's what I mean like I'm like no you need to do the exercise you need to be healthy
in life don't attack
no in life don't start another conversation here I think danga rube fi mu nekk nii
I'm gonna man what I'm let's give the benefit of the doubt. Right. Okay. So I'm explain ya wara ñor eko may ma den ma jola ndax okay
mu ne gaawal
we ya kam de pour why dañu waxtaan rek ñu understand so that we can understand each other's points of views. Man, the point I'm trying to say is when it has to do with moving our country forward, let's not just look at one aspect of it, like the individual's personality, their age, their tribe, like Tuklor mentioned, that can be discriminatory and it can kind of blind us from what the person can do as a potential. So for now, we have to first of all know what we want. And then sometimes I do relate with Ghost, but sometimes it's just a little bit confusing. It's true Gambia is a youthful population. It's a bunch of young people. Why then I said in most of these developed nations such as US and other parts of the world, they don't just judge you based on your age. Sometimes you need the experience, you need the knowledge. Man, my problem with Talib is not about his age, it's about his records. Here is a man, who has been part of one of the biggest opposition political parties in the Gambia, where we thought he would rise, and we didn't know this guy before. He didn't have any agenda, he has nothing to offer, he didn't sell any agenda to us. He pushed himself within that political party called UDP to become the leader of KMC, and most people supported him because of the fact that they related with him, and most of them because they were UDP members. Now he's handling, and he kind of got a lot of support from outside of UDP. But as a mayor, his relationship with the president, who was not in his party, was very poor, very, very immature. I would expect that he would be able to handle Barrow very well. And I thought he's very experienced, educated, that he should be able to handle Barrow to a point where he can be able to achieve things. But he continually complained of the incumbency obstructing him, and he's not able to find his way out. So his ability to work with the other side is questionable. And now I see him within UDP running around and speaking about UDP, speaking about Dabo, saying things and then changing his mind over and over and over and his position. So I question his integrity. I question his principle. And I think that to be a good leader, you need to have a very good integrity. You need to have a very good principle. You need to be able to work with the other side. I look around in KMC, and sometimes I question what his achievements are as a mayor. So he has created the worst political implosion that is happening within UDP that is costing us the ability to even change the government. And he is very much responsible for that. When I listen to the way he explained why he has to leave UDP and resign, I did not find any sense and reasoning in his thinking capability. So I question his leadership qualities. I question his ability, irrespective of his age or whatsoever. I question his abilities based on what he has portrayed so far. So as much as I can look at it and say Gambia is a youthful population, the youth needs to be given the opportunity. Yes, I agree with that, 100%. But Talib as an individual, with what I have seen, what he has done so far, a person who failed woefully as a mayor and as a political party member within UDP, leading to the worst political implosion that we are seeing right in front of our eyes. I don't think he'll be a very good president for us. That's just my point. Echo, thank you for giving me the chance to speak.
Nah, aku dah pergi dah. Wah, ni gimana? Malu aku leran sih. Nggak, kamu iya nasa so header. People point out exactly what they go. Yung lagi sa ini, lagi sa ko na from ni siya kapag nilasa ka. Kaya nga sa emet. Pagka ako na sa buha, pasti that is exactly how you respond to people, goes. Nasa na. So, yolo wa finite. Yun yung ko muna analyze, rek mo hypocrisy. There's no other word in the English language that you can use to describe your tailor hiwa. So, lolo neput saga is just pointing out your law. Nasa. What do you fufuno? Yang don't like Rafa. Laladef. What has he offered Gambians? Nasa. Rafa didn't work a lot of years within Gambia. The start he was serving Gambia, outside of Gambia, but he hasn't worked a lot of years within Gambia. Munala wah ay mbiri nga hamne, despite he was outside of Gambia, impagum ambir Gambia. Nasanya. Balamo Gina, he was working as an auditor. Don't audit like some public service corporations here. Mujige Fufuno, then sila, international appointment, study in the UN Security Council. Hindi gayam. Ala Gambian si mombo ka na sumibin na resolution biga hamne boy ala Gambian si you study the peacekeeping. Lulu kendo mo na wiri families inga hamne kaya na si Lulu. Listening hamne, the same opportunity other countries are able to enjoy. Rasanga. Even though can nekutin yan calamity muy hapun si inen dekay. Esa hapun ni hamne la nyo tanang ni dem puru safaram bir. Esa trena at ay nitam bet dugal fa Gambian si hamne. The competence at qualification puru wara muna dem def sen liggéey rasanga. Ke family bari tedde nen si nonu rasanga. Ñu jógee foofu noonu time Yaya Jammeh amoon na time ñi nga xam ne dañ laan balaa Yaya Jammeh to stop that route dañ ko seetaan interview SA the other time mu ko doon explain he was supporting Gambians yi nga xam ne am nañ experience and the competency to have international appointments for them the same opportunity that other countries are according for their people understand nga taxawal na foofu ay Gambians yu bëri mais demoon na to the extent boo xam ne Yaya Jammeh dafa baanoon loolu noonu because he was saying ne daha legi rek nga dem tukki dem international appointment understand nga so ñëwee ñaa ñëw di oote ne comme defut dara réewam I think loolu is false waaye it's not even relevant su ñoo wax ne dañoo tànn njiit bu nga ne njiit soo ko tànn xoolal foofu lan mooy liggéeyam lan mooy tànn recordam ndax mun nañ koo oo fii ne ko kay yaa fi sàccoon li kaa nga leeral li understand nga fan education am fan la toll ban impact la liggéeyam am si aduna bi you have to be very mindful of loolu noonu yëpp ndax kii nii buñ ko andee tey dinañu mën a represent wala dinañu mën a xeexal corruption dina mën a am na discernment bi indi people ñi nga xam ne am nañ qualification yu baax pour ñu mën a liggéey am moom foog naa caractéristiques yooyu noonu lañ war a xool seen njiit pour war koo mën a sànni waaye nekkul ne comme waa kii lan la fi def kii lan la fi li non if that is the case how can if you are not giving the purview suñ la ko xam ne joxuñ ko doole bi pour mu nekk njiit naka la moo amee the resources and the impact being one of the community, that allow woman that opportunity to provide that. He can't because he doesn't have much resources. That's it. Kunji tarek mo muna take action and do something that will impact the lives of his or her people. Kunji te do muna am lolo nono. So mom ligam sili nga hamne ñu don't represent Gambia in the international community. Yes, I'm not that experience. Dox na si ay jéego yoo xam ne fu mu taxawtee si aduna bi lañ ko respect. Dëkk yi nga xam ne am nañ conflict moom bokk na si lawyer yu ñu daan oo ñu ne ko demal ngeen gëstu te loolu ban experience la moo def si doomi aadama foog mu ne any politician si Gambia bi tey mun naa toog tey mu ne am na experience boobu because conflict fu mu munti am ngeen dem conflict fu mu amaa ngeen dem ngeen investigate ngeen xam lan moo cause conflict boobu noonu loolu rek jàngat la na sànga conflict fu mu munti am ay nit di not seen own nit some people knowledgeable people that investigate lana cause lolo no nakala lolo de hapune how can a human being turn from best to death and be able to commit heinous crimes you hamne dafa lor domi adama nit bu dem mu investigate lolo mu xam lolo nakala de doye foog naa ne kooku noonu te def na ko multiple times def na ko in Sudan def na ko in Congo def na ko in Myanmar in East Timor like multiple countries te dafa dem mu xeexal doomi aadama yooyu noonu kooku am na yërmande pour xeexal doomi aadama yooyu noonu so kooku noonu bu ñëwee tey jàngat bu mu am foofu noonu that experience loolu rek xam-xam la te loolu nekku ne da ngaa toog school ñu jàngalal la ko daf ko dunda boo xam ne dafa dunda loolu noonu foog naa ne buñ ko jàppalee ñu jiital ko kooku dina mun a teg some stringent measures yoo xam ne ñun dinañ mun a avoid those calamities in the coming years understand dinañ mun a teg ay loi yoo xam ne dina protect ak yelleef yi doomi aadama ñu nekk biir Gambia understand it's not just about lan la def biir Gambia no boo xam ne jiital loo ko du mun a def dara lu moo def tamit is going to be very minimal understand du mun a am the impact that boobu la soxla ñun tey suñu responsibility mooy naka la ñoo mun a convincer Gambians yi ñu sànnee ñi nga xam ne ñoom ñoo am experience bi ak ñoom ñoo am yéene bu baax bi very solid track record pour war a mun a yóbbu Gambia tey jii bu dee ne yow koy wax ne kooku nga sànnee mooy Talib bro let's be realistic ñan jaay wax na ko fi nii mu ne he has done well when it comes to collecting revenue in terms of indil KMC more revenue. However, revenue boobu noonu ndax mun nañoo measure xaalis boobu fa la jaar ndax ñun waa KMC di seen ko understand because nekkul si mbalit project bi KMC is responsible for rehabilitating the feeder roads foofu noonu in KMC ndax ñun mos nañoo toog ñu ne KMC ñoo dem ñu rénover tali bi man de mosuma ko gis su dee am na ku ñu ko gis tam mun nañ ko ñëw fii nii understand KMC is responsible for that marché yi fa gars yi waroon a defar ndax KMC defar nañ fa marché benn marché laa xam ne bu nekk Latrikunda foofu noonu gis man loolu witness naa ko boobu noonu defar nañ ko waaye loolu coow moo fa jóg the end of the day ay seen mbokk yi ak seen ay nit yi ñi nga xam ne ñoo ne ko di manage foofu noonu ñooñu la gaa andi foofu noonu ñi nga xam ne dañu amoon bitik si marché yooyu noonu most of them lost their stores dañ leen mujjee yóbbu si booba zone yi foofu la gaa yi ubbil leen ay bitik understand So if we are talking about impact, Talib amul impact boobu noonu biir KMC. Let's be realistic. Te yow bu dee ne comme ñu ne dañoo saaneel nit based off of competency. Foog naa ne ñun ñi nga xam ne jàng nañ eewu nekk ñoo saane buñ xool ne comme KMC ne saaneel leen ko ñaari temps non ñun yàlla jox nañu xel pour ñu xalaat ñu xool ndax dëgg la saaneel leen ko Adama Barrow saaneel leen ko 2021 na sanga. Ndax loolu is the right decision? No, it's the wrong decision. Just because KMC saaneel leen ko doesn't mean he's the right person. He is not. He is the wrong person for KMC. And if with all the years that he has spent in KMC, what impact has he had in the lives of the average youth in KMC? Mënuñoo am liggéey sax Talib support na any initiative bi nga xam ne dinañ build skills yi nga xam ne moom lañ soxla pour build KMC tali yi ñu fa doon defar tali yi Adama Barrow ak nguuraam bi ko initiate ndax ndaw yi fa doon liggéey ay majority of them ndax ay Gambian no they are not Gambians ndax Talib toog na mu xalaat ne waaw man de suma ndaw yi amuñu liggéey naka la équipe ñi ba nga xam ne projects yi nga xam ne ñu ko implement biir Gambia suma ndaw yi naka la ñoo mën a contribuer in this naka la gars yi mën a amee livelihood in these opportunities yi nga xam ne mu ngi dox biir Gambia waaye lan moo dee xew Nigerians yi dañ di andi Sierra Leoneans yi Sénégalais ñoo dee ñëw di ñu bilal suñu biir dëkk Talib what has you done when it comes to that nothing te doo wax ne xaalis bi nekkul di dugg biir KMC xaalis bi ngeen dugg biir KMC xaalis boobu noonu fan la nekk di jaar if we are talking about mbiri leadership we have to be very mindful in the way we phrase it because Talib is not qualified te tey mënuloo fi andi any justification lu war a tax ñu war koo sànni and li nga wax si Essa Faal tamit is completely false because indil naa la fi ay leeral yoo xam ne he has contributed significantly in the lives of Gambians na sànga so loolu man dinaa daaneel fii ma bàyyi ñeneen ñi ñëw
mun naa ñëw ma ne dama sori woon mun naa ñëw léegi balal ma de lu gaaw la man to start with basically gis nga su nekkee si platform yi nii and we are talking I think Kuneka am got the right to say what you want to say. And we should respect the fact that Kuneka am got opinion based on candidates in Amsi Dekabe. That's fine, man. I'm not gonna even argue based on that. I'm just gonna come back to the crux of the matter. When you talk about age, man, you cannot owe age. Mutiye kofane lolu moneka criteria. That's his opinion. But it is also Nyuntame Amnen the right to call out. If like Ghost mentioned, people call him, I didn't call him any name like hypocritical. Why? If that is what you did, we'll call you out for being a hypocrite. It doesn't change anything. It's not like people are gonna mince their word or whatever. No, we've had worse name calling Fini. So being hypocrite, if that is what someone does and you're called a hypocrite, so be it. It's not like or you're not gonna sit here or listen to people calling you hypocrite. So the fellow we call you out. So you're lying. That's it. We call you out. It doesn't matter. Like we don't. Personally, I don't care who does it. Why? When it comes to this issue of Talib, Talib convince me. I'm not gonna base it on the fact that he is only young. Man Talib, so it's a lumpuga defal Gambia. Ma feel na lead didn't change the status quo, didn't change the like the political landscape. Yes, we would consider supporting him. Why is it difficult? Just because Talib is Talib, people of Serekunda, then you them talk like you support Adama Barrow because people of Gambia gave him 2 mandates. You have no talk over no like. Just base it on that name. The Gambian people voted Adama Barrow twice, so Buko can against because Gambian yako living. Let's stick to that. Man, that's enough good excuse. In as much as that's your opinion, man, I have my opinion. This is not what we are saying. Man, one thing is clear. Man, top of my SR as an individual. Top of my SR as super SR gain on. Kufa run the project that is before me, right now, I will still support you. Man, for now, the politics of Lumako Wahewon earlier, this individualism, Lulu Waruta Neka Sisun Dekabi at this point. As Gambians, especially for those of you that are very educated, you should know this thing. Because then they support Kena ko hamne, it's like an individual, your support, your book of support, your yako gena intelligent, your yagena hamko. So you might even perform better than him. So why would I just This Lolo is psychophancy to begin with. Psychophancy la. Them man yefi psychophancy. Mota man do they talk the you who one individual. Man I shout for a party. Look guy is a Luma guy won. Majisko. Lola believe ne. Dama hope. I'm just hoping ne. So guy into government they will implement look guy def rule. It's just me hoping. So guy defunko. It's easy. Man ma mom small papa. I'll just walk away. So until then, until Talib brings anything before us, one nune, li la buga defal Gambia. The li la buga youth nu participate based on this, that, and that. Bro, we all want the best for the Gambia.
Everyone nobody will going to trust, bro.
Esa fal momuma, Halifa Saleh momuma, lawyer Dabo momuma, Alama Barrow momuma. Suma gisene isinga anything luma gomne yo dinga muna li lo isini man personally gomnane li muna change the lives and livelihood of Gambian back home. I don't care who you are. Buguma Hamsa Ford living. We will rally behind you. Why so for over the years yange ote based on these things that I'm saying. We would call you out for yo nga wara muna new swap change your lulu no yo this that's I'm surprised. Honestly, I am. And this is what it is. I don't care whether you are in your feelings or not. People call you hypocrite. So this is basically what we are trying to say. We can know people attack personally. We just speak based on politics. And politics, amga for far. The reason why Luther must support SFR, someone else might disagree in make good sense. Well, it's just flimsy. Put my reasons you must support SFR. I'm not you believe man must support SFR. Why should I support SFR? Some people believe I should be with SFR. It's opinion la. It's democracy. And again, fini on social media fee. Lunit wah nit. Kenen munala wah lenen. It's not worth it. You nyep Gambia le. Politics you den kode jele too personal. Man suma disagree yo. I disagree with you based on principles. Talib munanyo next minute muneka the best that we ever had in Gambia. Esafal munanyo muneka the best that we've ever had in Gambia. Kenen munanyo muneka the best, or even those people that I call might turn out to be the worst that we ever had in Gambia. Ken Hamut, we're just hoping, we just have a belief they will do the right thing for our people back home. It has nothing to do with people here can momu fi ken. Man suma dom sa, to buge choose ken man momu mako. Mon fum buge choose la mo choose. So who am I pull man matofi ne? It doesn't make sense. So man basically yefi eji Talib agyo man to me it doesn't make sense. Like it doesn't make sense to me. And I still stand by that. It doesn't make sense. Talib sunye mu wan ma anything otherwise lo hamne wan na man lila buga dafa Gambia then ñun ñep ñu set ku nekk ku ko buga topa nga topa ko basically ma may kenen mu wax ma deglu ma ngi ci suuf.
Hamga Skila and Ghost balal ma rek 1 second. I think lita ñun ñep because we're friends on TikTok te dañ dee waxtaan te ñun ñëpp xam nañ ku nekk lan mooy the political stance of everyone ñi nga xam ne ñoo nekk ci platform yi ñu tase because ñun ñëpp we go to the same platforms and then we talk to each other. So pour Ghost again, hamnane yo wangako, you categorically said that you do not care about our feelings. And likewise, I think you understand that we do not care about your feelings. And I'm not being petty. Yo, finger nyowe, we were not arguing about lanla esafal or lanla li or lanla la akla. It was not about esafal. The discussion was about yo linga wahne or okay, na nyep rally behind this person because because he is young. Te fogna ne ñun, we have the right pour wax la ne Ghost. Let's go back to the drawing board because all the years we have known you on TikTok, or all the months we have known you on TikTok, you were preaching leaning a bugal Gambia. So and your message is different. We have the right to be concerned and we have the right to call you out respectfully. So fofu nonu dang fa hawa mistake. You are not accepting ne okay ñu nangul nañ ne yow li nga nekk di wax nangul nañ la ne danga buga ñëpp ñu laaxu si gannaaw Talib ñu votal ko because he's young and you can relate to him. Nangul nalako. But I also want you to nangul mane. Just because someone is young does not mean that they have the interest of the nation at heart. Just because someone is young and you think they're innovative and they had the chance to be innovative with KMC does not mean that we have to give them the country. Just because someone is young, fangane du jox payi lan la payi buga does not mean that we have to give them the country. Man, Nico Echo just wahe te Ghost, you know me personally. That's why I am a little in my feelings. I do not care about Esa Fall as the individual. I do not. That's not why I support Sobeya. And this is not why, this is the reason Motaneko Masiena parties. Man, I personally believe Gambia did not them if we follow a system, if we follow the rule of law, if we follow an agenda, binga hamne, sufani toge dina kodef. And based on Esa's record, this is why manitamin ma am yakar si mom komi yoninga ame yakar si Talib. So it's not ne ñun dañ tok fi xëy na ñun waa Sobeya ñoo fi xaw a dajaloo and moo tax nga jël yow nga saani yëf yi nga jël ko nga saani ñu ko. So léegi yow nga toog nga fii nii you had a one-on-one, if not a one-on-one, nekk nga si on a platform with Esa, nekk nga on a platform with Osbob, and we spoke. You asked all your questions. So ñëwee tey nga bëgg a ñëw toog fii nii, and then a lot of people are watching just because ñun dañ nekk di la counter based on li nga wax about age. Léegi nga bëgg koo jël ton ko and make Esa Fall the devil. Man dama it would surprise me. It would surprise me. As much as I love you, te foknane you have fallen, and te bugulo nangune you have fallen, te yangi jel yefi di wane yo carewulo ñun suñ feelings. Yes, you do care. Because you're still on the platform and you're still listening and we're still talking about the same thing. So Ghost, Mimaham, you want Gambia to be a nation of youth. I 100% agree. And Gambia is a nation of youth. Ghost, you want Gambia put ñu nekk a corrupt free nation. I 100%. This is the Ghost I knew. This is the Ghost I know. Na you always dang de ñëw nga taxawal ne na pa yi génna because pa yi dañ corrupt. And I agree with you. While tey bu fekkee ne ñëw nga taxaw nga ne okay nañ jiital leader because he is relatable, because he is young. That is not you, my brother. Loolu noonu du yow. So fim neka ni kay mom man understand man dal munuma understand, and respectfully I am not attacking you. I'm just saying that I've seen a change, and change bobu non is not the Ghost I knew. And this has nothing to do with SFL. Absolutely nothing. And it has nothing to do with the fact that I support Sobeya. As much as I love you as a brother. So then move on.
So
Mel, sister, we will be hitting nail on the table. I'm coming to what is all done to Gambian people life. Ghost.
Lamin, excuse me.
Lamin, allow him.
Smala degi, moine is either you all are deluded, wala deglu and lumawa, and then you just jump in, and then just follow the nakalan kodewa the buhaha. Paski man lumawa fi dafa leer nañ. Luma wax dafa leer nañ waxuma fii ne Gambia ni dem leen ngeen dem support Talib dama ko bañ bi bu ma waxee ba àgga si age bi man Ghost laa wax man I would be more relatable to Talib than Husseinu Dabo, Halifa Sallah, and I counted all of them. I said man mu leer nañ te waxuma ne gis nga li nga xamee loo ma xamee ba tey loolu moo fa taxaw musuma wax benn Gambien dem leen sànnil nit karta loolu musuta am depuis élection yi naka lañ ko doy waxee
Oh, I'm sorry, I take that back. The only time I said Gambians knew them signing lead Carter is 2016, the coalition. 2016 coalition was the only time bi nga xamne man ubina suma gaming ma wax wala ma binda mané ñu dem sanil nit karta. It was Adama Barrow, the whole coalition when they first came versus Yaya Jammeh. Since then, I have taken a step back. Money, come Gambia. I remember where Adama Barrow was in Dakar, and I was on Gambia Talent TV with Pa Osman Juf. We were talking about the history, what happened. And I said this, I said, I am done with Gambian politics. I'm done. I was way younger then. I said, I'm done. Man mo fu nekk ni pare na. Man noppi si ma dem gis 2018 ma gis ne lu fa nekk doyuma. I started seeing disappointment left, right, and center towards the coalition. But since then, that day, musuma wax nit ni sanil ken karta. 2021 election, people would have me on record. Buma started the work politics on TikTok. You better see yan yenangi talks and pukusi. Not even talking about living. Taylor ne kuneka yangi jog na you're a politician. Taylor ne kuneka yangi jog na you have something in your politics. But when I was talking about politics, better, I have never majok money demlen sani nit karta sudut nakalen ko waxe the coalition. Legi fast forward. Tay ñu ñëw fii nii waxuma kenn fii ne dem leen saanil naka lañ ko waxee Talib Ahmed Bensouda karta waxuma loolu te loolu duma ko mës a lifin dama sign loolu ne I will never tell Gambians go vote for someone, but what I will highlight is the importance of voting for a candidate ki nga xam ne it will serve your interest, and that is for the voter to decide, not me, Ghost. I cannot decide the reality of a Gambian that lives in the Gambia. I can't do that. Munuma ñëw ma toog fii nii ma wax nit ñi ne yéen ñu nekk Gambia sànni leen Halifa Sallah karta wala sànni leen diw karta xam nga because kii moo leen a andi lii ak lii munuma wax loolu because my reality and the people that live in Gambia, their reality is different. Dafa mel ni bëccëg xam nga naaja guddi lañ ko daa I don't know. It's not the same. Our realities are not the same. Wante daal dinaa am suma opinion as to politician yu fi nekk su fekkee ne lii leen nekk di leen jaay lii ak lii gis-gis bii nii laa si am léegi man su ma ñëwee fii nii si suba tey ma ne Talib Ahmed Bensouda su fekkee ne Talib dafa taxaw man Ghost te man ma am karta man dinaa ko saaneel karta because dama gis ne Talib ak man we are in the same generation or age. So léegi loolu lan la am pour def ne I am hypocritical, I change my stance, X, Y, and Z. Did I say here, go and vote for Talib? No, I'm not asking you to go vote for Talib. But when the question was asked, should these old people join Talib and support him? I said, sure. If I am them, in my opinion, sure, let them join and support Talib because Talib is the young one and Talib is the winnable candidate. But that's my opinion, again, based on the question that was asked to me. So to run away with that and claim that, man, for some reason, I'm changed, I'm that, I'm being hypocritical, that is dishonesty on your guys' part. Either you don't understand what I said, and if you don't, you ask me. But I'm not going to sit here and you're putting words in my mouth. I'm doing that. It means that and this is where I have a problem. This is where I have a problem. So man da nga dégg fii nii ma ne Talib dafa liggéey KMC wala Talib liggéeyut KMC. I did not say that because if su fekkee Talib dafa liggéey KMC, I guess the people of KMC ñoom gis nañ ko seen bopp. because ñoom ñu fa nekk they live in the reality and they have voted for Talib ñaari yoon Talib su ñëwee tey mu ne moom dafa bëgg a nekk président loolu again ñi nga xam ne ñoo moom seen carte ñoom ñoo mën a decide loolu waaye man goes mu toog fii si suma comfort zone I cannot decide that for them but de su fekkee leena lay xelal ndawi Gambien te loolu duma ko ragal tey duma ko ragal ëllëg paa yii nii yu nekk di dox si réew mi ñu ne ñoom yéen seen destiny lañ bëgga pour jagal amuñ lu ko jagar te mënuñ ko ut leen seen morom bi nga xam ne ndaw la comme yéen su dee Talib la vote leen ko in dëkk bi su yaaxoo ngeen xam ne yéen ko yaaxal seen boppa instead of ngeen dem vote paa yii nii bi so called paa ñu ñëw fii nii ñuy daw si biir dëkk bi ñu ne ñoom dañ am li nga xam ne loolu moo mën a defar yéen seen ëllëg te ñoom seen ëllëg defaruñ seen ëllëg ñu ngi yaaxa yéen seen boppa Gambia seen ndaw dañ ko yaaxa démba ñu yaaxa ko tey ñu bëgg a yaaxa ëllëg they have no innovation absolutely not look at their agricultural policies they all speak as Jawara's era ideologies amuñ dara li nga xam ne is innovative te ñu mun koo offer ndawi Gambia so ndawi Gambia ni bu leen am respect toppa ba ngeen ne yéen paa ngi naa dem vote for seen morom votal leen seen morom dëkk bi su yaaxoo ngeen xam ne yéen a ko yaaxa so leen bëggee bañ nag di dem si yoon bi di dem taxaw foofu noonu every time ngeen naan da ngeen a protest internet protest yooyu noonu votal leen seen morom bàyyi leen paa yi mun nañoo dem si jumaa yi ñu dem ñaanal nit ñi suñ amee lu ñoo contribute they could write right now Halifa Sallah he will be more respected if he's writing and helping students at the University of the Gambia instead of ñu ko fi di dangante ak xale yi
each and every one you
equally Ousseynou Dabo as well as Essa Fall loolaa amoon pour wax si lii so su fekkee ne da ngeen wax nag te understand leen lu ma wax laaj leen ma su dul loolu nag du ma toog fii ni dugal wax si suma gémmiñ bokkuma si ilifin naka lañ ko di waaye bokkuma si Essa Fall bokkuma si Talib Ahmed Bensouda am na waxuma ne na gars yi dem support movement bi I care less so pour bii nag ekulaa ko jaarale pour nga ne man danga ma xamoon démba xam ma tey lu ma doon wax démba loolu laa wax ba tey I have never been in support of this old so-called old past and I'm gonna stand on that ba tey so su fekkee ne ay waxi naa fexe ya xoolal sa bopp si seetu fas balaa ngaa jublu loolu
ok man nañ ko ñëpp asalaamaaleykum